Hey everyone, this is not the start of the podcast. This is not how we usually start. But before we get the episode going, we wanted to jump in really quick and say we wanted to mention that Sam Neill died.
Yeah, just a couple of days ago at the start of this week. This episode's releasing on the 17th, and he just passed away on the 13th.
Yeah, and we used to record a lot further in advance than we do now. We watched the movie for that like a couple days before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we both agreed it would have felt incredibly tone deaf to not mention in our episode that he had passed and to not say something about Sam Neill in the episode. So
yeah, and he, he's someone who I think his presence will be felt in Hollywood, just by all accounts, not just a impactful actor, but a impactful person. It sounds like he made a lot of differences in many people's lives. He was an advocate for many causes. Most famously, I think the story that gets passed around is on Event Horizon. He pushed for replacing the Union Jack and the Australian flag with the Aboriginal flag, just because he was hopeful that for the future, there would be a different sort of representation.
Yeah. And I know that he had been sick, but at some point in the past he had blood cancer, right? He had like
angio
something. He had like T-cell lymphoma.
Yeah.
And he eventually and then it had gone into remission. And then he had died of something sudden and unexpected. And this is awful.
Really, really sad. Just, of course we didn't know him personally, but just everything that I feel as though I had seen from him outside of film, and I'm sure you feel similarly, CJ, just seemed like a delightful person.
Yes, he seemed very delightful, and I guess now there is just one less legend in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So we say goodbye to Sir Nigel John Dermot Neill.
He was a sir?
He was a sir. Yeah.
Wow.
I just learned that, actually.
Nigel, interesting. I didn't take him to be a Nigel, but I can see it.
Yeah, he was born in Northern Ireland. So, no, he will be missed. Obviously, we have seen all three of the Jurassic Park films that... Well, actually, no. We saw him in Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3, and then I believe he is again in Dominion. So we will at some point watch Dominion on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, if the podcast ends prematurely, I promise we will come back and watch Dominion before it's over.
Yeah. And... not to spoil our thoughts on Jurassic Park 3 too much, but I think we're both in agreement. He was the center stone of this film and the best part about it.
Yes. I don't think that's giving away anything from the episode that you're about to listen to. Jurassic Park 3 would have been a miserable film without Sam Neill. So, yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Just like you said, rest in peace, a legend.
Rest in peace to another legend. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the show.
CJ, play that funky music.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Film is Okie Dokie, the show where we, every other week, watch a movie and determine if that film is, in fact, okie dokie. Joining you this week, as every week, is I, CJ, and joining you is none other than Tommy.
Joining me, joining you,
joining me.
Bum, bum,
bum, bum.
Very nice, very nice. CJ,
my friend, good. My friend has a playlist that is songs that excite the white folk, and that is the first song on that playlist.
I would guess it's that, All the Small Things, and Mr. Brightside are the big three.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. I actually was thinking about you recently when I was in the car.
Gross.
So, shut up. we'll get to this in a minute, but I was listening to Jim Croce.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's not hard to listen to all of his work.
No.
It's like 2 albums.
It's 4 albums, but you know.
Sure. It's not a deep bench, right?
No. Actually, it's 5 albums. I forgot about one. I'm realizing.
There you go. It's 5 albums, and he has 2 compilation albums.
Oh, he has a billion compilation albums, and they're all the same songs.
Yeah, exactly. Damn. I mean, it's like, is this the time where they're gonna leave off Stock Car Boy? Well, let's find out.
No,
never.
Rapid Roy, the Stock Car Boy is a classic.
It's too much to believe. Yeah, I love that song. Car Wash Blues.
Yeah, Working at the Car. That's a good one. I fell in love with the Roller Derby Queen. Ooh.
Yeah.
Round and round. Oh, round and round. So good.
Yeah. No. Obviously, I think about you every time for New York's Not My Home.
Yeah, I mean, that's my song.
Yeah. Well, because whenever you have the guitar, you always play that song.
Yeah, it's one of my go-tos. It's one of the very first songs I learned.
Very nice. So I was listening to that, and I thought of you the other day. I was like, oh yeah, there you go. It was raining, and Jim Croce came on. I was like, oh, we're just gonna put the whole album on. So Tommy, I've actually been trying to get back into reading more.
Oh, nice. What are you reading mostly? I mean, first off, I mean, you've been recommending books lately in the post show, so no surprise there. But have you been reading more fiction or nonfiction?
So it's so funny you mention. I almost purely stick to nonfiction.
Boring.
I know. I think that the truth is stranger than fiction. And I love memoir. I love people telling their own stories. And I actually just bought a couple of books last night. Okay, so there's a couple books that I'm about to read off here that aren't even included in this pile. But Tommy, in the last 30 days, how many books do you think I've purchased?
Oh, I mean, just yesterday you were telling me about like 5 different books you bought alone. Like, let me see. Geez, okay, last 30 days, I'm gonna guess you've bought 15 books.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, it's a number greater than 15. I'll give you one more guess. It's a number greater than 15. Would you like to take another guess?
22.
Okay. I have purchased 26 books in the last 30 days. Yes. So, I'm now going to read them off. Okay. Because I think but there actually is a fiction book in here. There's one. Yes, there's one. Okay, so we have the Constitution of the United States of America with the Declaration of Independence. Fun fact, I actually was talking about how difficult it can be to find just a copy of the Constitution. In many bookstores, there are books that say they are the Constitution, but they're fucking massive. It is not that long of a document. It fits on one page. And then it's like, it's simplified and explained. I'm like, it cannot be simplified if you've turned it into 400 pages.
Yeah, the Bill of Rights itself is very short.
Yes, this book is 47 pages, but it also has a table of contents and has a list of everyone that signed the Declaration and what state they were from. And a list of all the amendments to the Constitution. So, just the Constitution is 22 pages. In this tiny little book, okay? So, I was like, I just want a copy of the Constitution. There's some footnotes in here. Like, for example, if something is changed later in the Constitution, like...
They'll come to your house and fill it in with pen in the book.
No. All right,
Can
moving
you
on.
imagine? That'd be awesome.
I have Eisenhower by Stephen Ambrose. Stephen Ambrose, for many of you, may be more familiar with his work, Band of Brothers. but Stephen E. Ambrose has written a lot of books. This is actually, he wrote 2 books about Eisenhower. He wrote one about him as the soldier and one about him as the president. This is a 1-volume version of that book. So it's really beefy. It comes in at a whopping 635 pages. It's a pretty big book, but it is 2 books technically consolidated into one. I got this from a used bookstore that sells books by the pound. Yes. This is American Kings, a biography of the quarterback by Seth Wickersham. Seth Wickersham, if you listen to a lot of sports podcasts, you might have heard him. I believe that Seth also wrote It's Better to Be Feared. And he's a writer for ESPN, and so I am excited to read this. I have Jim Henson, the biography, by Brian J. Jones.
Jim Henson, who's that?
Yeah, I never heard of that guy.
Invent a car or something?
He wiggled some dolls around and got famous for it. It actually
he was on To Catch a Predator.
That's right, yeah. American Patriarch by H.W. Brands. I literally was like, I am looking for the preeminent book about George Washington, and the internet was in universal consensus. It is this book. So I have this book about George Washington. Fun fact, I was like, oh, I'll read a book about Ben Franklin too, which triggered the trauma response of, I actually already have in my history read the definitive book on Ben Franklin for my college U.S. literature or U.S. history class. It was one of those classes where the syllabus is the books that you have to read, and then you only see the professor when he's grading your paper. And I had 3 months notice to read that book. I read 2/3 of it because it was the dullest piece of shit I've ever read in my life. And when I had to do the essay, I banked on the fact that the first 2 questions were going to be about the first 2/3 of the book. They were. And on the last one, I just put in a bank shot and hoped that it went in, and it was enough to help me pass the class.
So what was that final question that you just...
The final question was, so Ben Franklin was actually a royalist. He's like the first American and all this stuff. He was still like, the things that he did in America, he did for recognition in England. And it's not until later in his life that he goes back to the British court and is mocked and made fun of. And basically, it's this realization that you left England, we're never going to take you seriously, that he becomes a founding father, that he becomes the first American, that he becomes all these other epithets. And, you know, they created their own worst nightmare in that regard, because they mocked him, and that was the thing that he wanted. And so I did not have that context because I did not finish reading the book. So it was a question of, like, why did he turn against the crown? Like, what was his motivation? And his motivation was all of those things. I'd only read the first 2/3 of the book, so I wrote it from the perspective of everything else that made everybody else a patriot, not the thing that actually put him over the edge. And that was enough for partial credit on that question. So there was only 3 questions on the test. And we had to write everything out longhand, and this was like 2014.
Dude, I do not miss that at all.
Yeah. Hey, here's 3 hours. You have to write longhand. I remember, like, for test prep, for, like, those, like, classes where you had to write essays as, like, part of your final exam, they would be like, don't write too fast because your hand will cramp. I'm just like, hey, listen, I can do 100 words a minute. Give me a fucking keyboard. I'll bang this shit out. We can all go home. We have Invisible Women. Data Bias in a World Designed for Men. It was the business book of the year in 2019. It has on the cover of the book, which I hate, it looks like a sticker. It's not a sticker. It's baked into the cover of the
I hate
book.
that.
I really hate that, yeah.
What do you hate more? Fake stickers on the cover, or oh god, what are they called? Like the sides of the pages being crinkle cut, not crinkle cut.
Oh, yes. No, that.
Decal edge, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I hate the decal edge.
Yeah, it's pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of a good decal. I have a autographed copy of Laverne Cox's memoir Transcendent. I have Tomorrow Will Be Different by Sarah McBride, which I did recommend on the show. I have Friends Divided, which is about John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Okay, so that's the first pile. Next, I have the Stonewall book, which I've also recommended, which I purchased in the last 30 days. This one was actually a little bit difficult to get through. Not because I felt that the subject matter was not interesting. The Stonewall riots are in the last 50 pages of the book. Everything else is like, okay, this is the homophile movement, and this is Urco and Nacho, and these are all of the homosexual movements and organizations of their time, of the late 50s, early 60s, mid 60s. And this is how those organizations worked, and this is the parliamentary procedure that they used. And it's like, okay, those sections are a slog. The sections which are like, and Craig moved here and worked in this place and met these people and hung out here and went to these bars, interesting. And then the parliamentary procedure of this organization, not that interesting. So, I do really recommend this book. A lot of really cool themes in it. Not themes, really good history, really digestible and accessible. Especially for an important time in LGBT history, but not something to be trifled with lightly. Before Gender, Lost Stories from Trans History, 1850 to 1950, by Eli Ehrlich. I have Truman by David McCullough. This book actually comes into play with something that happened to me over the weekend. This book is a rat killer.
Does that mean you drop it on rats? It's that big?
It's over 1,000 pages.
Whoa.
I think it's 1,100 pages.
And is this, tell me about the profile of this book. Like 1,000 pages, I have some 1,000-page books that are like mass market paperback. So they're like, they're pretty condensed. And then it's a
hardcover.
Okay. So this is
it's a vintage hardcover.
Nice.
It's like a 20 or 30-year-old book. Let me put it this way. I think our hands are about the same size.
Well, we've never measured. There's only one way to find out.
Let me just put this in context for you. With the book on the table and my palm flat against the side of the book, it is my pinky, my ring finger, my middle finger, and my pointer finger.
This was huge.
That's how thick it is. Yeah, it's a very thick book. I have not started this yet. However, I don't want to read 2 books on Truman. So I tend to err on books that are under 400 pages. That's like a really safe space for me. I don't want to buy a second book on Truman. This is the definitive Truman book. So, we have Fairest, which I will talk about in the post show. Fairest by Meredith Talason, which I read in one day. Really good book. I'm currently reading If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies, by Eliezer Yudkowsky and Nate Soares.
Cool sequel to The Field of Dreams.
It is a book on what happens if humanity ever develops super intelligent AI.
Just like The Field of Dreams, then.
I got this one over the weekend and got $1 off because it's damaged. Where Are Your Boys Tonight? The Oral History of Emo's Mainstream Explosion, 1999 to 2008, by Chris Payne. I actually bought the book by just reading the spine and then realized the cover is My Chemical Romance. So, there you go. This one, I actually bought this with my sister, and my sister's boyfriend read it and thought it was a much different book than it is. Cleavage. Men, Women, and the Space Between Us. A big picture examination of what it means to be who you are. By Jennifer Finney Boylan. He thinks this is a booby book. A picture book. It is not. So there you go. Kings and Pawns by Howard Bryant. Jackie Robinson and Paul Robeson in America. Love Howard Bryant. Frequent guest, matter of fact, on the Right Time with Belmonte Jones. Shout out. My favorite podcast. The one and only fiction book in the stack. This Is Not a Game. A novel by Kelly Mullen. About a grandmother and granddaughter murder-solving duo. You will like fun. This one. Yeah, I that one is actually purely because of the cover. I bought that book because of its cover. It is a red border with a blue background, and it is a martini glass with a skull in it, blood instead of alcohol, and a skewer through the skull. And I was
that's
like,
dope. That's
pretty cool. This one you will like. Monsters, the 1985 Bears, and the Wild Heart of Football by Rich Cohen, the author of The Fish That Ate the Whale.
Nice.
Yes. Gotta read about Jim McMahon. 3 more.
Yeah, your favorite quarterback.
Your favorite quarterback. Best quarterback you ever had. When Women Ran Fifth Avenue, Glamour and Power at the Dawn of American Fashion by Julie Satow. Blood in the Garden, which I told you I had started reading. The Flagrant History of the 1990s New York Knicks. And the last book, Transgender History, a Resource for Today's Struggle and Tomorrow's by Susan Stryker. So that is 20... Oh, and then coming, we have Whipping Girl, another memoir. We have Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And we have... I bought this today. I bought... Actually, this is because of your recommendation. I bought Absolute Batman Volume 1.
Oh, awesome. You know, I'm so glad that you bought yourself Supergirl and Absolute Batman. Because I was actually planning to get you both of those for Christmas. Because I think CJ would like reading these.
Yeah, I have been disappointed by the discourse surrounding Supergirl. And I don't know if it's good or bad, and maybe we'll talk about that, maybe we won't. But I don't know if it's good or bad, but I read a comment thread the other day on Reddit, and in the middle of the thread, somebody wrote, "So we just decided we don't like it."
Wait, in regards to what? The movie?
To the movie, yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, and someone else was like, "Yeah, I haven't even seen it." And I was like, okay, deep breath. Maybe someone should see it.
I did see Supergirl.
I really was wanting to, but I wanted to do it after I read the graphic novel. So what was your impression of the movie?
Was not a big fan.
Not a big fan.
I thought that it was pretty I think overall it's a generic superhero film.
Oh no. Are we back to the slop pail?
When you said what else is in the slop pail?
Okay. For DC or for superhero in
Just
general?
Superhero in general.
The Eternals is in the slop pail.
Okay, right. You don't like Eternals, and I'm an Eternals defender, kinda. Not a huge one, but a little bit.
That movie made no... Because I didn't know what that movie was about ahead of time. The twist in that movie doesn't work at all in the movie. I'm sure we've talked about the Eternals on that. This doesn't need to be an Eternals conversation.
We've not really actually gotten into it, just kind of said our basic opinions. That's about it.
I don't think that the twist in that movie works if you don't know anything about it ahead of time.
Mm.
Well,
Supergirl. Let's stay focused.
Thor: The Dark World is another one that I think is in the slot pail.
Definitely.
Which again should give people hope, right? Because that movie came pretty early on. That was a 2013 movie, 2014,
something like that.
And we got some. And then I remember seeing that and be like, the next movie stars a fucking tree. And then Guardians of the Galaxy became one of the best franchises, right? So I'm not super down on the whole idea of the universe.
Yeah.
Because Supergirl was a miss.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, they have time to pull... They also saved Thor, right? Because Ragnarok... And even though people don't like Blood and Thunder is better than fucking The Dark World.
I'll agree with you there.
I mean, it's not... It's close, but it's...
It is close.
I also think, like Green Lantern is in the slot bucket.
Oh, definitely. So I would say just in terms of the general scale of things, it's not as bad as Green Lantern. It's not as bad as Morbius. It's not as bad as the worst of them. But I would say it's akin to like Thor: The Dark World and whatnot, where it's like largely forgettable. You know, like it's just very generic. I feel like I've seen most of the things in it before. Visually, it doesn't do much of note. Millie Alcock is great as Supergirl. I really liked her. But yeah, I don't know. It really didn't do much for me. And then just having read the comic book, I think it made me even more disappointed in the adaptation because, I mean, there's all the visuals and everything. Yeah, it is genuinely one of like the most stunning graphic novels, comics I've ever read, just visually. And to have that identity be lost so much in the adaptation to screen is really disappointing. And I know that typically, especially nowadays, whenever we get a comic book movie, rarely is it a direct adaptation to a storyline or an arc from the comics. They'll take things from it. They'll loosely base it off of it. This is like it's like 80% of the way there to this adaptation of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, if not more. And they just, not just the visuals, but some of the changes they made to the narrative, I just don't agree with. I think most of the changes made I don't think were good changes. So I think overall it was just disappointing. I'm looking forward to seeing Kara/Millie Alcock in future DCU films. I'm still excited for the next one in Man of Tomorrow. I'm very much like you, in like same boat in, yeah, this wasn't good, but it's, you know, there's gonna be more better films in the future, I'm sure. This can't be one of the better things we'll get from the DCU. I think it's just a matter now of, with how big of a flop this is turning into, especially with it being announced to being coming to streaming in like 3 weeks, whether or not the DCU will survive any potential merger with like Paramount and whatnot. That's my real concern right now.
I mean, okay, this is actually an interesting trivia question. So, of the top 10 highest grossing superhero films of all time, how many of them do you think are DC?
Of the top 10?
Yeah.
Okay, let me think. So, Aquaman did billions. That one like is somehow the highest grossing one.
It is.
In the top 10? I mean, he got multiple Avengers in there. He got pretty much every I'll just guess like one, because I think that the rest is filled with like Avengers and Spider-Man and stuff.
None.
Oh, wow, none of them?
There is one not DC movie in the top 10, and it's Incredibles 2.
Sorry, one not Marvel?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. One not Marvel.
Wow.
Everything else is Marvel. Endgame, Infinity War, No Way Home, the original Avengers, Age of Ultron, Black Panther, Deadpool and Wolverine, Iron Man 3, Captain America Civil War are the other 9 movies. Aquaman is number 11,
Wow.
which I don't understand. Did that movie
was
come
a
out
moment.
after Justice League? Is that why?
It was
everyone
after
liked
Justice League, but I'm pretty sure it was like huge in China.
That's gotta be a factor then, because it did better than Far From Home.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and like I watched that movie. That movie is unremarkable.
Which ones? Aquaman?
Aquaman.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like not to where I'd be like, but you know what I'm saying? Like they have time to pull this around.
Yeah,
now, are they
definitely.
going to get the time?
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. Because Marvel will continue to ram, unfortunately, down our throats this safe, bland garbage, right? Like, someone said we're in phase 6. I didn't know we left phase 4. And now I'm looking at it. Phase 5 was Quantumania to the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, no, there's zero cohesion and zero cappers to any phase.
And I'm like, none of those movies... The best movie in there is Guardians of the Galaxy 3 by far. Followed close second by Deadpool and Wolverine. And then there's 50 feet of gap. But like even Thunderbolts, I think you and I agreed at the time when it came out and we both saw it. Thunderbolts was just okay. Like it was just above the slop pail.
See, I think Thunderbolts is better than Deadpool and Wolverine. I think Thunderbolts is pretty good.
You thought Thunderbolts was better than Deadpool? I mean,
yeah, I thought Deadpool and Wolverine was just above the slop pail.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't
well,
know.
At least that has the benefit of being like the thing fans wanted.
Yeah, but that's all it was to me. Is like I was like, there was very little there for me on a character plot note.
I hear you. I can't complain because it's what people wanted and it's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted a third Deadpool movie and they gave me a third Deadpool movie and it had Wolverine in it. And it had Hugh Jackman in it. What else could I possibly have wanted out of that, you know? And then Phase 6 actually feels like it's getting better, right? Fantastic Four was really good. It was the best of the Fantastic Four movies.
Yes, not counting The Incredibles.
Yes.
Real quick, this is just turning into a Marvel dissection when we were just talking about Supergirl.
Okay, back to Supergirl. I want to read Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then go see the movie.
I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on the comic itself, and same with Absolute Batman. I'm really curious your thoughts.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I recommended it.
So I finished it.
Oh, you read Absolute Batman?
Yeah, I finished it right before we started recording.
Oh, nice. So how'd you like that?
I really liked it, and there's not to be too spoilery. There's a point where, because the whole point of the Absolute Universe, aka the AU, if you get the pun or you get the reference, he is presented with an opportunity to basically be like his alternate universe self, and he rejects it in the best way.
Yes.
And my favorite part, this is going to be a spoiler. Really quick.
It's worth saying this is a spoiler for like issue 6 or so of a run that's like into the 20s, I think, right now. So it's overall, if Absolute Batman interests you, this will just be spoilers for like the first trade back.
Yeah. Yep. This is a minor spoiler. He's beating someone up like Batman does, but he's doing it in a really raw way that they don't usually draw Batman, or animate him for that matter, where it's like almost like he's like a fucking gorilla, like just hammering. I think you know who I'm talking about. And the villain is going to talk and give exposition, and Batman just continues pummeling him, and he's like, keep talking, say I'm gonna regret this, say I'm gonna fail, like, just beats the fucking piss out of him, and doesn't let him talk. And then it just goes from there. And I was like, wow, okay. I was really hooked.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost immediately went to Amazon and got the second volume. My local bookstores, and I checked, my local bookstores don't have volume 2.
Yeah, these are actually kind of tough to find in person. They sell out pretty much right when they come out.
Yeah, so they had volume 1 and they had Absolute Superman 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, they had Absolute Wonder Woman 1, but I'm not as interested in Wonder Woman. I would rather read Batman.
That's the one I would recommend next. Absolute Wonder Woman is so good. Other than Martian Manhunter. That one's much shorter. It's like a limited run as opposed to the Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. Those are ongoing. But no, I keep saying Superwoman. Wonder Woman, incredible.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I have to reconsider it. It was $20 for the volume. It's pretty nice. It has all the alternate art covers inside. It has a really nice gallery. Pretty nice compendium, pretty nice volume collection set, you know. And like I said, pretty easy read. One of the things I was going to ask you was, how fast of a reader are you?
I mean, it depends. For comics, I'm pretty quick. Like, I can read one of those trade paperbacks in like about an hour. It
took me a little longer than that. See, I started, and I don't care about being slow from the perspective of, oh, I'm slow. Like, I gotta measure up to other people. Mm-hmm. I was starting to feel slow because I'm not making the progress I wanted to make. And so, like, I think it took me an hour and a half, 2 hours to finish it. But when I was reading the books, I was like, I'm not making the kind of progress I want to make. And then I started in on that memoir. The memoir was fairest is about 308 pages. And I read that in 24 hours. So I'm like, okay, I also had read 100 pages of a different book that day. So I'm like, 400 pages in a day seems like a lot. I mean... Yeah. But then I'm like, nah, man, it just takes me fucking forever. I was like, I've started listening to music while I do it, trying to, like, speed up my brain somehow.
Interesting. Oh, but yeah. you mean like the, I think we had DM'd a little bit about this, like, instrumental music.
Yeah, I also did try it with Jim Croce just because I know all those songs.
See, when I read, I really prefer instrumental, just so I don't have any words distracting me.
I've been doing a lot of Miles Davis. I did Ella Fitzgerald in Berlin. That's a really good album. And I just turned it down low enough that I can't make out the words. So it really didn't bother me.
Cool.
But yeah, no, I needed something like that to occasionally dip in and out. I am going to add Wonder Woman to my cart.
Well, very nice.
Yeah.
Was there was one other thing you wanted to bring up in this pre-show, right?
Yeah, so I went to this really big flea market over the weekend for the 4th. And I was shocked that, so a couple years ago I went, and because Pokemon cards became really popular, everybody had Pokemon. It didn't matter what you were selling, right? Everybody had Pokemon cards. What do you think this event, this time, everybody had?
World Cup.
I'm talking, there are 500 to 600 vendors at this place. It's outside on an abandoned airfield. I don't mind saying the name of it because I don't live near it at all. It's called Stormville. You can look it up. And it's a big travel for us to go there, but it's really cool. A lot of vendors. I would say at least 60% of them all had this. They all fucking had Hot Wheels.
What?
everybody. I was like, are Hot Wheels back?
No, I guess it's just a flea market thing. That's what the old folks see, and they're like, "Oh, Hot Wheels! These are
all
worth
the
a
kids
lot."
are buying the Hot Wheels." No, so it was so crazy. So there was a guy selling pickled onions.
Nice.
He had Hot Wheels.
That's so weird.
There was a guy selling fucking handmade swords. He had Hot Wheels.
What?
And it's literally two guys with a bunch of swords, and in the back wall, there's a couple Hot Wheels.
What?
And then there was this vendor, and he had it was two booths next to each other. One had a tent, one didn't. It was 100 degrees outside. He's got like used wiper blades. He's got saw blades. He's got every Aveeno product from like the drugstore on the table with like the little orange sticker on it. And then in front of his tables, and these are like 10 by 10 booths, in front of his tables, he's got 6 or 7 20 to 30 gallon clear plastic containers.
All Hot Wheels.
No. Full of women's underwear. And I'm not talking like folded, I'm not talking grouped together, I'm talking like a sad grocery store salad all tossed together in there. Like, just assorted women's underwear, like bulk purchase Hanes, and like weird Walmart lingerie, and like drugstore bras, which basically are like looked like a coat hanger with RuPaul's pantyhose wrapped over front. Like, just looked like all of it in tubs. All of it just thrown in there, on the ground, in the sun, in front of his table. There's no signs. There's no prices on anything. And I looked.
You pick one up, and you're like, how much for this one? And then he sniffs it to let you know.
Dude, they literally had to be like, how much is this? And then he had to come over and inspect it. So I'm standing there, and I'm looking at my sister, and I say, now who is actually gonna fucking buy the bulk order underwear? Who's gonna do that? And
then up walks
3 young women came and purchased.
Oh, it's that kind of flea market, huh?
and started got on their hands and knees and were digging through the buckets.
Good
and
for
I'm
them.
like the times ain't that tough. Like, you could have gotten the pack of 4 for the price that he's gonna charge you.
Yeah, but flea market undies.
No, man. It wasn't it. But I tell that whole anecdote to say, that fucking guy had Hot Wheels.
Classic.
Also, last story, I was in this really cool Barnes & Noble. It was 3 stories. And this lady came up to me, and she was wearing like all like shiny leather or PVC, whatever. She had like on like a pleather outfit, and she had like on like, it was high, it was 100 degrees. She had like on like over her like knee boots, like there were heels, and she came up to me and she asked me if I would hold her leash. She said she had to go to the bathroom, and she asked me if I would hold her leash, and I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Now my dumbass is like, I'm holding the leash of her service dog or something. So I just keep looking at the shelf I'm looking at, because it was a really cool Barnes & Noble. It was like 3 stories, and it had escalators and shit. I was like, my Barnes & Noble is really sad. It's really small and doesn't have like all the other stuff. It just has books. And then fucking around the corner, just a random guy shows up, and he's on the other end of the leash.
What was he
and he's
wearing?
Like, he was just a dude. He didn't have on like kink gear, but he just goes, sup. And I'm like, so I was in the U.S. history section. I took a copy of Truman with that 1,000-page book or whatever, and I picked it up and I put it on a table with the leash underneath it, and I said, stay. And I immediately rode the escalator to another floor.
Oh, nice.
I was like, nah, bruh. I'm not kink shaming. You guys do whatever you want. I just don't understand Why you gotta involve third parties in it? I'm not a willing participant.
You are gonna show up on a random prank YouTube channel in like a month and a half. And they're gonna be like,
I'm surprised I haven't.
Well, I was saying that this in particular, they got you on a hidden camera somewhere.
Oh, you think they're gonna hit me up for the release?
Oh, absolutely not. This is just going straight to YouTube. You don't need a release for YouTube, baby.
Oh, I would take that shit down.
What is there to be ashamed of in just saying in what you did? Like what did you do there that is to be ashamed of?
I don't know. I was like, I don't think I did anything to be ashamed of.
Yeah, so let's get that footage out there, baby. I need to get my images of CJ holding a man on a leash.
I don't want that in the universe, Tommy.
Oh.
Yeah, so anyway, there you go. Me with my gender studies books in one hand, cleavage in the other hand, and I'm holding a man on a leash.
Cleavage?
No, I had the book cleavage. All right. So, did you know?
Yes.
Today we're watching a movie.
No.
Man, I told you the name of the show when we started.
All I remember is us singing about Carolina, the Carolinas.
Heads Carolina, tails California.
Oh,
right?
that doesn't ring a bell.
Anyway, yeah, so we're watching. I actually really love this. I didn't know it at the time when I picked it, but this is going to be the anniversary.
The 23 episode anniversary.
Sorry. It is equidistant. How about that?
Yeah.
It is equidistant to the time that we watched the second movie, which is also equidistant to the time that we watched the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So we have established a pattern that every 23 episodes that we watch a Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah, but it's, classic. The number 23.
Completely by accident.
Number 23 is synonymous with Jurassic Park, let's be honest.
So, yeah, Michael Jordan, famous for playing for the Raptors. So how many Jurassic Park movies are there?
There are a total of 7 now.
So there's Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3.
Yep. Then there's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World Dominion. And then there's Jurassic Park Rebirth, which is the most recent one starring
Is that Jurassic World Rebirth?
Oh, yeah, Jurassic World Rebirth, which is
so
the
they have
newest
rebooted the franchise again.
Kind of rebooted, yeah. That's the one starring Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali and Jonathan Bailey, or is that one? God, what's his name?
No, I think that one is Jonathan Bailey.
Okay, cool. I always get him mixed up with the dude from The Monkey.
I like Mahershala Ali a lot. He was Cottonmouth in Luke Cage.
Yeah.
He was really good in that show. And he was also in Green Book. He was in Moonlight. God, there was something else. He was in The Place Beyond the Pines. Fun fact. Yeah, no, he's in a lot of good stuff. He's also, fun fact, the voice of the Prowler in Into the Spider-Verse.
Don't forget, he's also in Alita Battle Angel. And don't forget, CJ, he's the voice in the post-credit scene of The Eternals, your favorite movie.
I did it without looking at Wikipedia. Okay.
I did too.
You knew that he was the post-credit scene voice?
Yeah, because it's the one where Kit Harington is getting the Black Knight sword, and you hear Mahershala Ali be like, "It's a new world we're coming into."
Didn't they completely scrap that Kit Harington movie?
Never. I don't think they were even planning a movie for him. I think they were just throwing shit at just like with the Eternals and the fucking Patton Oswalt and Harry Styles. I don't think that they had any plans beyond let's just put this in there.
God. Anyway, so he's awesome. But anyway, so we were talking about Jurassic Park 3. This is the one that has Sam Neill in it, right?
Yes, Sam Neill comes back for this one, where both Sam Neill and Laura Dern come back, whereas what's his face? Jeff Goldblum. That's his. I was just like, if I do the sounds, I'll remember his name. He is not in this one, so he returned for 2, but not 3.
Okay, so he returned for 2 and not 3, and then in Jurassic World, there's a point where they get them all back for the big reunion.
I think that's like the 3rd one. I only saw the first Jurassic World, so I'm not too sure on that.
Oh, wow. So in like a year from now, in the summer.
Yeah, in 46 episodes. In 46 equidistant episodes, we're going to be watching. Yeah.
So 6 weeks behind from now. Whatever. That would be like April of next year.
Something like
we'll
that.
Be watching, what's it called?
Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah, and that'll be the one.
Or Fallen Kingdom, whichever one it is.
Yeah, whatever one. And then in like 8 more years, they'll have the Scarlett Johansson movie where they bring back Chris Pratt and Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Jeffrey Goldblum.
Oh, they're gonna do Jeff Goldblum that time?
Yeah.
So yeah, this one, Jurassic Park 3. You said you might have seen this on a plane?
Can I tell you what's really embarrassing?
Yeah.
It was the Marine.
So, hold on. Last episode, you said, I think I watched this on a plane. But the movie you're actually thinking of is The Marine starring John Cena.
I'm not proud of it either. Yes, it was The Marine starring John Cena. We saw it on a plane on our way to Florida. It was a JetBlue flight. And the DirecTV in the back seat and the back of the headrest or whatever, it didn't work. So they each gave us a movie we could rent. Yeah.
So, quick question. Was this the same Florida trip that you watched Freaky Friday in the car on the way to?
No, that was a different Florida trip.
Damn.
My grandparents lived in Florida, so there were many trips to Florida. This was a different one where I went with my mom and her friend. We went to Universal.
Oh, perfect for Jurassic stuff.
Yeah. Fun fact. I guess that's the tie-in now.
So this Jurassic Park, this was the first one that I saw in theaters. I saw it as a 5-year-old in theaters. I think that's the only time I've actually seen this, though. I remember a few scenes in it, but I don't remember much of it, so I'm excited to see how I feel about it. Notably, though, this is the first Jurassic film not directed by Steven Spielberg. This one is directed by Joe Johnston, who also directed like The Rocketeer and the first Captain America film and Jumanji.
So, okay. Oh, wow, Jumanji. So, is this the movie where... This is the the Lost World's the last one that Steven Spielberg directed?
Yes.
Is he involved in this project in any way?
I don't think beyond... No, not really. He didn't help write. He didn't...
So his name, maybe, is it Amblin?
Let me see. Yeah, Amblin is one of the production companies.
Okay, so...
But Kathleen Kennedy is one of the main producers on it, so it could have been her.
Years ago, when I was unemployed, I asked you if you could help me rent or locate my legally obtained copy of the South Park special that came out at the time, and in that there was an alternate universe where all of the characters were gay women, and Cartman played a version of Kathleen Kennedy, and he just kept saying, "Put a chick in it and make her gay." And
is that the Kathleen Kennedy special?
I don't know. That might have been the one, but basically every character in that episode, that special, was a diverse lesbian woman. So, like, all the South Park characters were just gay women. And I don't know how how I feel about Kathleen Kennedy because I haven't spent as much time terminally online as Reddit people have.
Mhm.
But I thought every time I hear Kathleen Kennedy now, I just see Cartman put a chick in it and make her gay.
Well, we're gonna have to be on the lookout if there are any gay chicks in this.
This came out in 2001. It might be a little too early for that.
So I do have an answer to your question
Gay
about
chicks?
no, about Spielberg's
That would've been really
involvement.
quick.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. So when Spielberg made the first one, before they were even making The Lost World, he and Joe Johnston were friends, and Johnston pretty much said to Spielberg that he would love to direct a possible sequel. And Spielberg said that he could direct a potential third one if they got there. And then after making The Lost World, Spielberg was really busy with other projects and pretty much was like, I don't even want to think about making another Jurassic Park. They're such a headache. They're like a tremendous undertaking. So Joe Johnston asked again whether he could, and he's like, yeah, do it. So Spielberg wanted Johnston to have like total creative control over it so that it would be its own thing, going a different direction than what Spielberg had done.
I think he chose, instead of doing the third Jurassic Park, he chose to do AI.
Maybe he was already making that, yeah.
Yeah, because it came out at the same time. And then right after, I think he directed Minority Report. Gotta say, Spielberg's filmography, not as infallible as people think.
It's not infallible, but my lord, is it filled with some of the greatest movies ever made, and there are many of them in it.
When he hits, it is a hole in one.
Yeah. Just don't get me started on Disclosure Day.
Oh, so I wanted to see that, and as I was booking my tickets, my friend called me, and she was like, what are you going to do during your vacation? I said, I was planning on movies. She goes, whatever you do, don't go see Disclosure Day. So I was like, are there any good movies playing right now?
Yeah, go see Obsession again. Or go see
told
Obsession.
She told me to go see Minions. She actually told me to go see He-Man. They literally took it out of my local theaters this week.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah. But God, like, I think...
No, you should go see The Invite.
I mean, just to be clear, Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, The Color Purple, The Last Crusade,
yeah, that's
Hook,
the best
Jurassic
one.
Park, Schindler's List, that's the best one. And Saving Private Ryan.
I was saying of the Indiana Joneses.
I mean, he has a 25-year stretch that basically nobody can touch. And then from 2000 to 2026, it's a little more iffy.
Yeah, I would say...
He had an incredible first half.
I would say the last 20 years or so were in the grandpa era. In Disclosure Day, I think, super, super grandpa film.
Like, did you ever see The Terminal?
Yeah, that's my favorite film where Tom Hanks plays a brown man.
Very true. I like that movie as it's on TBS, mute it and clean the living room.
Mm.
Like, it's a great movie to, like, watch the clips on YouTube for.
Definitely.
Okay. Is there anything you want to talk about else for Jurassic Park 3 before we jump in?
Let me think.
Just being mindful of our time.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the only thing I want to add is that Steven Spielberg's West Side Story is pretty good.
In 2021? I didn't see it because it came out during COVID.
You didn't brave the theaters during COVID, coward.
I did. You know what I went to go see?
Oh, geez. Eternals.
I went and saw Jackass Forever.
Oh, we are not the same.
I went and saw Jackass Forever, and I thought it was really weird that there was an hour-long documentary, basically, where they just sat in a room and talked about the movie.
I've never seen Jackass. I've never seen Beyond Jackass 2. So I don't know about this
3D
hour.
is at least worth it. All the 0.5s are worth it. I mean, the only movie left for me to go see is Best and Last. So
if you would like to watch Jurassic Park 3 with us, CJ, what do they do?
You can go ahead and look in the description below. You will find the companion audio track here. If you would like to listen to our companion audio track for Jurassic Park 3, you can go ahead and pause the podcast here in a second. If you don't want to, just keep on listening. If you want to listen to that with us or watch the movie on your own, you can pause the podcast right now. 3, 2, 1, go. Woo! Another movie!
Movie 47?
47? Woo! I've been wearing my glasses this whole time.
Wow, congrats.
I know.
I didn't think you could do it.
Shut up. How the Cubs doing this year?
Okay, they're pretty hot right now.
They're rained out right now. I would say they're decidedly cooled off.
All right, so I'm going to quit the podcast now. Forever.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Film is Okie Dokie. It's through the power of editing, we haven't left.
No, we left for a long time.
Yeah,
CJ doesn't know this, but I edited in about like 5 minutes of dead silence.
That's awful.
What are you talking about? That's the ideal podcast experience. So there's a podcast that I listen to, and they do this thing that I really don't like. I think they're just trying to get, a bit more artsy outside the box with their podcast and producing. But they have these, every episode, it'll be like, they'll pick some weird thing, like, such as someone going grocery shopping looking for the Dr. Pepper cherry cream or whatever that viral thing was, or sounds from the park, and like their interstitials in the podcast will be like subject, and then they'll have like a minute or two of this like ambient noise of like a dude going looking for something at the store, or like the park, or like bowling pin sounds. It's like, why are we putting this in here?
I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I usually skip them.
Yeah, I would too.
Just like how everyone who listens to these, of course, always skips the commentary highlights.
Ugh. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Were you watching any of the World Cup?
No, I have watched a total maybe 15 minutes of it. I'm not really a World Cup person. I just learned like a day or two ago who the Holland guy is on Norway. Not a soccer guy. Okay.
I would not count myself as a soccer person. I was cautiously following the U.S. men's team, and I was like, okay, if I watch, they're gonna lose. If I don't watch, they might win. But I really wanted to watch. So I watched their most recent match, and they lost. And it was 4-1, and it was really ugly.
That's on you.
Yeah, I know. And you actually, on the same podcast in the past, told me that that's really stupid. Yeah, that you think jinxes and stuff like that are stupid. Just watch the game.
Do. Yeah, I do think that type of stuff is generally not that bright. Or not real, I should say.
But say you just literally called me stupid.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't be the first time or the last. Hey-o!
This is a headline I wrote down for you.
Yeah.
Jared Leto's last 4 films have lost an estimated total of $970 million.
That's incredible.
He has no upcoming film roles.
That was Masters of the Universe, Tron Ares. Trying to think if Morbius is in his past 4. It's gotta be. I'm figuring, but I don't know what the fourth film that he's been in the past few years would be.
Okay,
but he is box office poison.
He was in Haunted Mansion.
Oh, right. I forgot that he was in
and then Morbius.
Okay. I totally forgot about that Haunted Mansion film.
I did not realize that his character's name was Michael Morbius.
Yeah, Dr. Morbius. Dr. Michael Morbius, at your service.
Also, this is how bad his run has been. We have almost forgotten that he is also the worst Joker.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think people are still pretty aware of how bad he was as the Joker. Did you I'm assuming you heard all of the stories about like
giving people dead rats and shit. Yeah.
You know he's still doing bullshit like that?
Like what? He like shows up on set and he's like,
yeah,
Skeletor.
For the Masters of the Universe movie, apparently he showed up on set like with his face covered in blood, like trying to freak people out. It's like, what are you doing? Why can't you just do your job?
Can I tell you?
Wants to just do the job and go home.
I was not interested in a Masters of the Universe film, but I was hoping it would succeed.
Yeah, me too. It seemed like it was decent. Those are the things I saw. I was like, yeah, this looks like it would be pretty watchable.
It looks like it's going to be a big flop.
Oh, big time. Big time. Well,
like
because it's everyone...
$100 million loser.
It's because everyone who cares about Masters of the Universe as an IP is dead.
They really didn't hit that at the peak. If this had come out in like 2000, this would have been big time.
Well, what if it came out in 1987?
Wasn't there a He-Man movie in 1987?
CJ, it's funny you mentioned there was. How do you think that one did at the box office?
I don't know, but that one had like Dolph Lundgren in it.
Yes, Dolph Lundgren, Frank Langella, and Courtney Cox. I think those are the main people in it.
Okay. Yeah, it couldn't have had that big of a budget.
Let me give you the budget first. The budget, $22 million.
In 1987?
Yes.
That's not bad. I'm going to say it broke even.
Broke even? So when you say break even, what number are you thinking? Ballpark.
I was going to say 25.
20. Okay, 20 to 25 mil. So just break even with the production, not with production plus marketing.
Yeah, because that would be 44, 45. Yeah.
Oh, what if I told you it actually made 17 million?
It lost money.
Yeah, Masters of the Universe, consistent loser at the box office, it seems.
God.
No, I don't think he had anything to do with that film.
I think he stayed home that day. Yeah. Well, I hope that everyone who worked on this movie has no problem getting their next job.
Hopefully. The what's his face? The guy who plays He-Man in it is and he's in Sheep Detectives. Good movie.
Yeah, I have that on my to watch list.
At least, wait, was he in Sheep Detectives or am I tripping? No, yeah, he was in Sheep Detectives. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I spoke to you less than 48 hours ago.
Uh-huh.
I have been reading and I have cataloged my owned Blu-ray collection. Right. As well as my physical book collection.
Nice. You were mentioning this a little bit in the Okie Dokie Discord today.
Yes. I have a few questions for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
How many movies do you think are in my physical Blu-ray collection? This is individual films, not Blu-rays.
So now I've seen your collection.
Yeah.
At least I believe I have. Your collection is just what's on your shelf?
Yep.
Not like you don't have like a bin in storage that you counted?
No, there's another little stack that probably has like 6 or 7 Blu-rays in it, but that's separate. It's included in that, but it's whatever that's on that shelf plus a half dozen.
Okay.
I keep
I'm
the
gonna
Looney
say-
Tunes stuff separate. Go ahead.
I'm going to say around 200.
Okay. 334.
Whoa. Man, that's an efficiently spaced shelf then.
There's also like an 8 film collection, a 24 film collection.
And I'm guessing some of those are on like singular or reduced discs where it's like, yeah, there's multiple films on a single disc.
Some of them, but not the James Bond one. I believe there are 24 discs in that collection. Yeah. And then there's also just like the TV series I have in there too that doesn't account for those.
Ah, gotcha.
So
Wow. So really, that shelf holds a lot more than 338 or whatever the exact number was.
yeah, I posted a photo of it in the server, and
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Well, hold on. Is that... Oh, no, that's not a second copy of La La Land. What's the one bottom right shelf between Ted 2 and Grudge Match? Because it just looks like it says... Oh, no, wait. Is that La La Land?
yeah, it's La La Land. Yeah.
You have 2 copies of it?
Yes, I do have 2 copies of La La Land. So I have the copy that I was given, and then I believe we were going through like a box in the garage of like one of my sister's stuff that they didn't want that was like here and not at their apartment or their house. And so we were going through it, and I just took the Blu-rays.
So, question spinning off of this.
Mhm.
You have 2 copies of La La Land. Are there any films you own more
Multiple?
than 2 copies of?
Are there any films I own more than 2 copies of? Physical copies?
Yeah.
No. No. Also, the duplicates are not counted in the total.
Gotcha. Are there, I guess, others that you have 2 of? At least, like 2 of the same format, I'll say.
The Hateful Eight is on there twice.
Okay.
The Rare Breed is on my shelf twice, but one of those is a VHS.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that's on there 3 times because I also have that on DVD on that shelf. I have 2 copies of Die Hard.
I love seeing all of the okie dokie films on this shelf.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think you gotta separate those into their own section.
Did I ever tell you I built this shelf?
You built... Oh, did you build it? I think you might have mentioned it. Built it in like high school or something?
I built it with my stepdad, yeah, in college.
Nice. Like from scratch, you guys like treated the wood and everything?
Yeah, yep. I
Nice.
stained it all myself, yeah.
Nice. Well, I do have to say the bottom left shelf looks a little uneven, so let's bust out that screwdriver.
Yeah, that one is fucked. So if you can actually zoom in and
I
see
was just teasing. That's funny.
There are little clips that go into these rails that I put on. And there is no hole on the adjacent side. So there are only 3 clips holding that shelf up.
Wow. That's like some of my I've had like cabinet shelves in the kitchen like that, and it just sketches me the fuck out because it's like I don't want to put a glass on that.
Yeah,
it's gonna fall.
It's a trust exercise. It's a trust exercise, but actually, there's another one held up with a push pin that is way sketchier, but you can't see it. Yeah,
you know, so looking at your shelf, getting back to the okie dokie films you have, I see you have The Quiet Man. I see you have Heathers. I see Zombieland.
Yep.
What are some other ones? Muppet Christmas Carol, is that on there anywhere?
No, it's not. The Searchers is on there.
Okay, nice. Die Hard,
Tombstone.
you mentioned. La La Land. Tombstone, nice.
Yep.
Why am I not seeing Armageddon, though?
I don't have
Where's
Armageddon.
Megalopolis?
Young Frankenstein's on there.
Birdcage
Heathers.
or Some Like It Hot?
Some Like It Hot's on there. Birdcage is in there somewhere. God. Sinners.
Nice.
You gave me that, I think. No.
Yeah, I believe we did gift that too.
Oh, you also
the
gave
Batman.
me the Batman. Yep, that's on there.
Oh, I see Some Like It Hot. Cool.
Yep.
So question then.
Uh-huh.
I guess, do you remember when we first started talking about making this podcast back a few years ago? And
I do.
You had one film in particular that you were like, I would love for that to be like our first film.
And then it wasn't.
And it's never even been on the show.
I don't remember what that movie is at all.
You had said multiple times to me, "Oh, Tommy, I would love to watch that movie with you."
What is it?
I'm going to give you a hint. It's an action film. It's on the right side of your thing. No, this will take too long. It's John Wick.
Oh, I would love for John Wick to be an episode. I have so much to say about John Wick. Specifically the first one, okay? Specifically the first one. I feel like you can really get deep into your film essay bag with that.
Okay, quick. Without any justification or reasoning, rank the John Wick films.
The best John Wick is the first John Wick. 1, 4, 3, 2.
I think that's kind of where I'm at too. Let me look to see if I had logged these on Letterboxd, because I do kind of forget because 3 and 2 to me, they're like of pretty comparable quality. They're okay. They're good. They're okay to good. I'd say they're enjoyable. Definitely not on the tier of the first or the fourth. But for me, it's like the same. But I don't know. I think 4 and 1 swap for me on any given day.
Yeah.
But anyway, out of our John Wick corner.
Okay. And so we can also leave my personal film corner. But I also cataloged all my books.
Wait, hold on, CJ. What's that personal film section that has the curtain? 18 plus? What?
No, that's not a thing.
Wait. Oh my gosh.
You're divorced from reality now.
All right, what were you saying? Your books?
Yeah, my books. I also have an app that lets me track all of my books now.
Cool.
Yes.
So how many books do you have? Like 3?
How many do you think I have?
I mean, you bought like 30 in the last month. So
I did.
Extrapolating,
it's less than my films. I've been collecting books less longer.
You're 55 years old, 30 books a month. I'll guess like 181.
There are currently 125 books in my bookshelf.
Wow. And how many ballpark percent have you gotten a chance to read yet?
This is a good thing. I worked it out. I have read about a quarter of them.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing. This is what happens, right? And I'm not deflecting, right? But this is what happens. I get a book. I put the book on my list. For a long time, I didn't really buy books for myself, but I put a book on my list. And when I put the book on my list, my wish list, I want to read it then. Then I get it later, and I'm really excited to have it. But then it's like, do I want to read a book about John Adams right now? No, that's really not where I'm at right now. Am I glad that I have that book? Yes. Have I gone through phases where I wanted to read about the founding fathers and the founding of America and all that stuff? Yes. Am I going to come back to it at some point? Yes. Has it been a couple years since I've owned it? Also, yes. So, tough, you know? But
no, I feel that, though. I personally am not a fan of the mentality of people who are like, oh, why would you buy a book if you're not going to read it? I also like buying books that I'm interested in to put on my bookshelf, so that then when I finish a book and it's like, okay, what do I read next? I have my own personal library of books I know I'm interested in to choose from.
Yeah. I don't think of myself as a bookworm. I think of myself as a book dragon. I want to stand
Isn't
upon
a worm
my
a type of dragon?
not that kind of worm.
Oh, okay.
I don't eat the pages. I want to stay on the top of my hoard of books.
Mm.
I want to be like
It's that
Smaug.
physical media collector in you.
Yeah. So I also have been reading, and we talked about this in the first episode, the first part of this podcast, but I also continued reading Absolute. So yesterday, I received in the mail Absolute Batman Volume 2.
Nice.
Which I immediately just tore through.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I did. So good.
Okay. I've not gotten a chance to start it yet. I've been
Oh my god.
more focused on I wanted to read all of the volume 1s of the Absolutes before I started moving on to any volume 2s. And I've also just been more of a in a video game mood lately.
See, that's the other thing. People give me a hard time. It's like you're buying video games, but you're not playing video games. Brother, I got it. I got it like that right now. I don't got to worry about it. You know? I will come back and play this at some point. You know? I'm going to buy it when it's $3. That's just being savvy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, I bought all the Far Cries for like $10 that I didn't have. I love Far Cry. I played 4, 5, and 6. So the ones I didn't have, yeah, they're going to get played at some point. But I gotta, it's when the mood comes up, you know?
Right. Yeah. You gotta get aroused first to be able to.
I'm partially making a joke. I've genuinely been getting a lot of pushback lately from my inner circle, and I'm just like, I'm not here for it.
I guess. Okay, so what specific thing have they been pushing back on?
Like, oh, like you're buying like a lot of books and you haven't read them all. It's like, okay, well,
yeah, I plan to read them.
Yeah, exactly. How fast can you fucking read?
I will say, buying like 30-something books in a month is kind of excessive.
Okay, but hold on. How many of those have I read in a week?
I don't know. Oh yeah, that's true.
I read 10. True. I mean, I'm on a bit of a flare here. So
yeah,
anyway, so I read Volume 2 of Absolute Batman. I'm hooked. The second that Volume 3 comes out, because I'm not going to be a month-to-month reader. I'm not going to be that person. The second Volume 3 comes out, and it's a nice, very nice paperback $20 version.
Yeah, the trade paperback.
Yes, I'm going to get that. I started Wonder Woman.
Nice.
Because that came in the mail. Again, I bought it during the commentary track, because you told me that was the best one.
Yeah, I think my top 3 volume 1s in order are Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, Batman.
Okay, so I read Wonder Woman.
How'd you like it?
Loved it.
Really fantastic.
Really,
right?
really the most compelling what if so far.
I definitely agree.
And they did the most with it, which is nice.
Definitely agree.
Like Batman kind of ends up closer to the mean of regular Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a fucking brute, right? Like, he's a gorilla. But
yes,
he's less stealth and more, I'm going to fucking come up to you, I'm going to stab you in every critical place, and you're going to bleed, but you're not going to die.
Yes.
And you're going to remember that you encountered me. I'm going to beat you.
Yes.
I'm going to fill the hospital, not the morgue. Right?
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And he doesn't have any money, but he's still, like, is very resourceful. So, like, It doesn't feel... It doesn't matter that he doesn't have money, because it's like...
No,
he's
it plays
built
very
up...
similarly.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I've built safe houses around the entirety of the city. How have you done that with no money? The same way he did it with money, which is much less interesting than you think it would be. But like the relationships are really interesting, and Volume 2 is really good for Batman. You should read that.
That is next on my read list of books that aren't part of the book club that I'm in.
Yeah.
So I do plan to read it soon.
I also read. So I also ordered Wonder Woman Volume 2.
Nice.
That comes today, as well as Superman Volume 1.
Okay.
And then I got a new phone today, which I was telling you about.
And okay, hold on. So let me guess. This puts you at owning 14 phones?
I don't have No. I have 2 phones.
But you're a physical collector.
No. I'm getting rid of my old phone. But the Verizon store shares a parking lot with Barnes & Noble. So I was like, oh, goody. I'll pop into Barnes & Noble. Nice. And I got Absolute Martian Manhunter.
They had it?
Literally, I was looking on Amazon, couldn't find it. Like, I was seeing, like, individual issues, which I'm not about to do. I walked in, I was like, there was a guy putting new stuff on the shelf for graphic novels. I said, oh, I'm sorry, I was just looking. He's like, cool, I'm going to, like, do a loop, I'll be back. And one of the things he had just put on the shelf was Absolute Martian Manhunter Volume 1.
Oh, wow. That's so lucky.
I got I got Volume 1 of that. I got the first 2 issues in, and I'm very interested.
Really, really out there, right?
Yeah, like, oh, this is not at all what I thought it was, and I'm interested in where we're going.
Yeah, it's really, really funky in a really good way.
Yeah, it's trippy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I had in my hands, he also put out Volume 1 and 2 of Absolute Flash. I was like, I don't want to spend.
Yeah.
So
Absolute
I just got
Flash
Volume 1.
Okay. That's great.
But they also have the full collection of the DC Consolidated comic series. The ones that are like hardcover paperback, basically. Like they're paperback size. They're not full comic size, but they're like consolidated into like a shorter volume. So they had every single one of those, I think, that they put out on one shelf, which was cool. Court of Owls, which is also written by Sean Snyder, who is writing...
Scott Snyder, sorry.
Too many names. Scott Snyder, who also wrote Absolute Batman. I picked that up the other day, too. So,
did you hear about, speaking of Absolute, like Scott Snyder specifically, did you hear that they just announced a Absolute Batman animated series that Scott Snyder is going to be
I didn't
in charge
fucking
of?
Hear that. Are you serious?
Yeah. He's going to be writing it.
Oh, that's really cool.
With the art's going to be by Nick Dragata, who I think does the art for the comic.
That's really cool. If it's an adult Batman, amazing. You cannot do this series without it being like on Adult Swim. You know what I mean? Like it can't be Batman cartoon like, you know what I mean? It's got to have a darker edge to it.
Definitely.
And I got to say, I love Kevin Conroy. Like, I love Batman. Kevin Conroy, to me, is the voice of Batman. There's no other sound that plays when I think of Batman.
His voice is truly synonymous.
Yeah. Oh, in a way that I don't associate other... Like, he's on the level for me of fucking Darth Vader and James Earl Jones.
I'm sorry, he's fucking Darth Vader?
Deep breath. Okay.
I gotta check out this tape.
No, you don't. He's on that level for me. Like, of just voices that are, like, synonymous.
Yeah.
Right? And I just can't... And I say this with all love and respect. Same thing with Mark Hamill's Joker. When I see other people do the Joker, it sounds wrong. It sounds like they're all doing it wrong. Unless it's live action, it's different. But any voice acted Joker, I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, this is so off. It's like garbage. It's like when I watch
trash.
Like when I watch the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z, I got one like an Ocean dub of a Dragon Ball Z VHS tape when I was a kid, and I'm like, why do all the characters sound like shit?
Ocean dub? What is an ocean
Ocean
dub?
was the company that did it before Funimation or Viz or whatever. So there was the Funimation dub. Before Funimation, it was Ocean.
Gotcha.
And so imagine all the characters sounding just off, you know?
Gotcha. Makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, so really, really excited to keep going. I'm also excited to get off my graphic novel kick, because I have a lot of really cool books that I want to read that don't have cool pictures in them. But those two apps that I started using, by the way, are Movies 5 and Storygraphs.
Oh, nice. But anyway, CJ, you brought Jurassic Park to the table.
I did. This, although I say in the future, I don't know that we should do like, you brought this to the table for the Jurassic Park feels like it should just be a standalone, experience.
You know what? I agree. I agree on that front. That said, though, I was going to say
I'll take ownership this time. Yeah.
Which means I was the one who gets to run the game this week, and I've got one prepared for you.
Okay. All right. I'm here for it.
Okay.
So how many questions do you have?
So I thought that I did 10, and then I added one while we were talking now.
Mm-hmm.
But I just counted it, and that made it 13. So we got 13 questions in the game we're going to be playing. Now, Jurassic Park 3 has a specific scene in it. CJ, I'm just going to say one word, and then I think you'll be able to tell what scene it is, and I would like you to describe it to the listeners. Ellen!
Ellen! They just, I don't know, is it one specific scene? They won't shut the fuck up the whole movie.
No, it's the one specific scene.
In the beginning?
Where when he's on the plane and he falls asleep and he looks over.
Oh, and it's the fucking puppet. Yeah, so they're on the plane, he gets knocked the fuck out, and he wakes up and he looks over, and he looks up and he thinks he sees like a raptor or something, and it starts talking to him like, Ellen!
It
Ellen!
opens its mouth and says his name, yeah.
And he's like, whoa.
I thought, if you had told me before I knew anything about the Jurassic Park film, say like you took me and wiped my memory of Jurassic Park, and then you told me that this movie had a talking animal in it, I would not believe you. So we're going to play the game. Does the following movie have a talking animal in it?
Oh.
Now, you're not allowed to look up any of these movies either way, if you have heard of them or if you haven't heard of them. You just got to fire from the hip. Again, there's 13 of these. I meant there to be 10, but 13. But
all right.
We're going to start off a little easier. This is the one that I added when we mentioned this movie earlier in the show.
John Wick?
CJ, does Sheep Detectives have talking animals in it?
Okay, now when we say talking animals, does that mean to the audience they talk? Because Babe the pig doesn't actually talk, but he talks in the movie.
The way that I defined this is we hear an animal speak English.
So they cast someone to play an animal that's a person, and that role included speaking words.
Yes.
Okay. I believe, not having seen it, the Sheep Detective surely must have talking animals.
That's correct. Pretty much, that's the entire premise, is that these sheep talk. At least we see them talk to each other. They can't speak to humans, but the sheeps do talk. It's like the entire deal.
Okay.
All right. Question number 2. Does Mary Poppins have a talking animal in it?
Do the animated animals in the chalk count?
I am counting animated animals, yes.
So then, yes, they all. First, I was gonna say, oh, you're thinking of like the parrot on the umbrella, but no, all of the animals in the chalk painting where they do
like,
supercalifragilistic, and
like
it's a jolly holiday.
Sing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're 2 for 2. That was the original first question softball. I just had to add the sheep detective.
Easy, yeah.
But there's a good example in the Mary Poppins one of what I wouldn't consider talking. It's that she can communicate with animals and talk to them, and we see her like barking with or talking to a dog that's barking at her, and she can understand it.
There are some people online that would pay a fuck ton of money to see Prime Julie Andrews bark.
You're so right. And those sickos now have Sora Gen AI or whatever to do that for them.
Yeah, to see fucking AI generated nanny Poppins feet.
Kill a few trees to get their rocks off. All right, number 3. CJ, does No Country for Old Men have a talking animal in it?
No.
That's correct. You are 3 for 3.
I was like, I think he hallucinates at one point, but I know he has like blood loss, and I know he ends up in the hospital. I don't think there was a talking dog. So yeah, there you go. 3 for 3.
Okay, now give me 1 second before I ask you this second one. I'm just realizing that there's a chance that I might have gotten this one wrong before.
Oh God!
Before I ask. Okay.
Did you get it wrong?
CJ, does the movie Look Who's Talking have a talking animal in it?
Okay, that's a good change-up. This is a really good change-up. We're talking about the first one, right?
We're talking about Look Who's Talking, not Look Who's Talking Now. Or maybe Look Who's Talking 2? Which one? Yeah, Look Who's Talking Now is the third one. Because I can't believe that they made so many of these.
Yeah. Wasn't Roseanne the voice of the baby in the second one?
Let me look. Roseanne Barr, yes. She does provide a voice.
I'm gonna say no. In the first one, no talking animals.
That is correct. It's just the babies that talk.
Ooh.
Though I had to double check. There is a talking dog in the third one.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine after being Vincent Vega, you come back and do Look Who's Talking Now?
What year did?
Oh wait, that can't be true. I think Pulp Fiction came out in 94.
Yeah, because Look Who's Talking Now is 93. All right. You are 4 for 4. Number 5. Does the movie Christopher Robin have a talking animal in it?
The one with Obi-Wan Kenobi in it?
Yes, Ewan McGregor.
Are you counting Eeyore and Pooh and Tigger as animals?
I can't say. You have to answer.
What
yes
the
or
fuck?
No.
That's what the hell is that?
What do you mean? Does the movie have a talking animal in it? Yes or no? Final answer?
What? They're okay. So they're not animals, they're stuffed animals. I'm asking if you're counting stuffed animals.
I can't tell you.
My answer is going to be yes, it has stuffed animals. No, it has no real talking animals.
So sorry, which one is that, a yes or a no?
I don't fit into your fucking gender binary, apparently. Your anarchistic way of looking at the world. Your all or nothing approach to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Need a concrete yes or no, not a yes this and no this. I need a yes or no.
You see how he cheats, audience?
Are there talking animals in this?
No animals. There's no animals that talk.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That's correct. There are no talking animals because they are toys. Good job, CJ.
I fucking hate you.
How about this? Does the movie Paddington have a talking animal in it?
Well, goddamn. He's a real bear.
Is he?
He eats marmalade.
Yeah, and Pooh eats honey.
Paddington Bear, a real bear.
I wish I was.
Fuck. Oh my god, he's here. No, wait. Yeah, he's a bear. He's a real bear. Yes.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That's correct. Paddington is a bear. I see. I had to look it up because I've never seen it. I thought he was a toy bear.
Well, this is where you're wrong now, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Number 7. CJ, you're 6 for 6.
I'm doing all right.
I think we're going to start entering the realm of films that you are lacking a bit of familiarity with. Does the film The Lighthouse have a talking animal in it?
The Lighthouse?
The Lighthouse.
Is that the one with Casey Affleck?
No, I think you're thinking of Manchester by the Sea. The Lighthouse is the film starring Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, directed by Robert Eggers.
There's a movie with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like just them. It's like one of the best films of the last decade.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm gonna guess. No, there are no talking animals.
That's correct. There are no talking animals, though there are a lot of seagulls.
Well,
all right.
Seagulls basically talk.
Almost. They're partway there. All right, number 8. Does the movie The Green Knight have a talking animal in it?
The Green Knight. That's the one with the guy from the Yesterday movie, Dev Patel?
It is Dev Patel. He is not in Yesterday. That is a totally different dude. That's Himesh Patel.
I am sorry to Himesh and to Dev. This is based on like an old King Arthur thing, right?
This is based on Arthurian legend, yes.
So this is like the thing. Is it Gawain?
Yes, Sir Gawain.
Where he gets hit, he hits the guy in the head, and then the guy's like, cool, but I get to give it back to you in a year.
Generally, yeah. It's a little more intense than that, but that's generally it, yes.
Was there? I think I read this at some point. Not that I haven't seen the movie, but yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Arthurian legend? Yeah, there's a talking animal in there somewhere.
If you had to guess what type of animal it would be, what would you guess?
Well, it's a British, isn't it? What do they have over there?
You're right. It is a British that speaks in The Green Knight.
Okay. Okay. I don't know, like a dog or a fox or a wolf?
It's a fox.
Okay.
Yes, you did get that right. So let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 for 8.
Hey,
8 for 8.
I am guaranteed to pass.
You are. Number 9. Does The Shining have a talking animal in it?
The Shining. Did I see The Shining? I know all the broad strokes. No.
Final answer?
Well, yeah, no, there are none.
That's correct. There's none, though there is a guy in a dog costume.
I don't remember that.
All right, number 10. Does Everything Everywhere All at Once have a talking animal in it?
Everything Everywhere All at Once I did see. It's one of my favorite movies of that time. Was it the raccoon?
The raccoon. Is that a yes, a raccoon does? Is that your answer?
Yes.
Locking in?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Yes! A raccoon briefly sings an original song by Randy Newman in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Good job.
Good.
10 for 10.
All right. Wow. I'm on a heater.
You are number 11.
Generational run.
Maybe I made this too easy. Does the lobster have a talking animal in it?
That's the one where they go in the room and they turn into animals.
Kinda.
Like his brother's the dog, right?
That is part of, yeah.
Yeah, to the surprise of no one, I've never seen this because this is literally what my biggest fears are about. I'm gonna say no.
Locking in?
Locking in, yeah.
That's correct. Animals are very important to the story, but they do not speak. All right, 2 more. Does Beetlejuice have a talking animal in it?
Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton, obviously.
Just don't say that word again, because then it'll
Michael
be 3
Keaton,
times
Michael
that we've said
Keaton.
it.
Oh no, he's here.
Fuck.
Beetlejuice?
Oh, geez, now you done it.
No, it's 3 times not unbroken.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've never seen this either. I'm gonna say no. Final answer.
That's correct. There are no talking animals, but there are a lot of creatures who talk. All right, 12 for 12. Let's see if we can finish this.
It's gonna be the most difficult thing to answer.
Does the movie Red 1 have a talking animal in it?
Red 1?
Yeah, Red 1. You know, the most popular movie of all time, according to Amazon.
Oh, is that the Rock one where he plays the Rock and he works for Santa?
I mean, he's in Red Notice.
The Rock or Santa?
The Rock. He's in Red Notice.
Is that the one where J.K. Simmons is Santa?
I don't know. I've not seen Red 1.
Or is that the one with Kurt Russell as Santa? Was Kurt Russell Santa?
I think he voiced Santa, yes.
No. Oh, wait. Am I thinking of Kurt Russell in the Capital One commercial? Or no, that was John Travolta.
Right, because he does all the dancing.
I'm going to go ahead and say there's probably a reindeer that says something at some point. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Final answer. There's a talking animal in Red 1.
You're right, though it's not a reindeer, it's a talking polar bear.
Oh, but guess what? I went 13 for 13!
You did. Congrats, CJ. And also, the Kurt Russell one is the Christmas Chronicles. And also, yes, this is the Rock Christmas movie, but he is also in Red Notice.
I don't... Okay.
Wow.
Can I tell you...
Perfect score.
If this movie might have worked... Go ahead. You need to make it harder?
I need to make it way harder next time. I went easy on you.
Maybe this movie would have worked if it was John Cena instead of The Rock.
You know, I think the failings of Red 1 are attributed to much more than just the fact that it's The Rock.
Well, it doesn't help.
Definitely.
Didn't help.
In that movie, The Rock, his name is Callum Drift. And he's head of North Pole security for Santa. And he's the commander of the ELF, capital ELF, all capitals, which is an anagram, I forget. Acronym for something at the North Pole. What do you think ELF stands for in this universe's North Pole operations?
What ELF stands for?
Yeah, what does ELF stand for? The thing that Dwayne Johnson is commander of at the North Pole. What is ELF?
Enforcing little fuckers. I don't know.
You got one right. It's enforcement, logistics, and fortification.
Man, Dwayne Johnson took all the Christmas out of Christmas.
Oh, wow. So perfect score. Incredible. You know what that wins you, CJ?
I get to talk about Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, you get to be the first to share your thoughts on Jurassic Park 3.
Wow, this is really an honor. I'm gonna pull up the Wikipedia page for Jurassic Park 3 now. Yeah, so my thoughts. I went into this knowing literally nothing. I thought that I had seen this on a plane, but it turned out to actually be the Marine. I had no doubt this was gonna be like a popcorn movie. I didn't know until we actually sat down that it was like less than 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Its
really
runtime
quick.
is 92, but I also want to say I really appreciate that because I don't think you can really keep going back to the well every fucking time and being like, it's going to take us 2.5 hours to get off the island. You know what I mean? Like, they did a quick hit. You know, and we'll talk about the plot, but like,
Wait, there was a plot?
Yeah, it never overstays its welcome. And it's partially because of its runtime. It's literally like, here you go. We're gonna sell a bunch of dinosaur toys. We're gonna sell a lot of popcorn, right? Everyone's gonna be happy. I think that they stopped making Jurassic Park movies after this, if I'm not mistaken, and I have this in my notes. This was, at that point, the worst performing Jurassic Park movie in the series.
Really? I believe that. It's still made like almost 400 million, but I do believe that.
I mean, the first one basically has made $1 billion, right? Now, it didn't probably make that in its first theatrical run. I know it's been re-released a few times. But the second one, right, Lost World. But the second one, Lost World, did like $600 million against a $75 million budget with a completely different cast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and this is not based on a book. The other two were based in part on a book. This was based on the characters, but was not based on a book. This was like an original story, for better or for worse. And so all that having been said, is the story a little dumb? Yeah, the story is a little dumb. But it never drags out long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they didn't really do what they did last time where they killed people off. When I say last time, in the first movie, where they kill people off one at a time, and it's a whole thing. Like, they kill everyone real quick, and then that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they narrow down the crowd pretty fast. And then they keep one dude around to be fodder later on.
Yes. It's like, all right, someone is gonna die. It's up to y'all who it is. Pick wisely. And then it literally ends, right? They move on. And it doesn't end with some statement on dinosaurs or man. It's literally, here are the fucking Marines, and we're moving on. And so I know I'm getting a little too deep into it. No spoilers. If you got to this part, you kind of knew what to expect. So, that all having been said, inoffensive, blockbuster, early 2000s movie. It's great for what it is. I can see if you're like, you want more out of it. I don't want any more of what it's giving me than what it gave me. Like, this movie didn't leave me wanting Jurassic Park 4. Right? Also, and we can talk about this later, I don't know that Sam Neill carrying the movie on his back was enough.
It's
like William H. Macy's in this too, and but not having a Jeff Goldblum, not having a Laura Dern, hell, not even fucking having a Julianne Moore character to balance it out, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it just really, I don't know, it feels lopsided somehow. It feels unbalanced.
No, I agree with, you know what, I'm going to jot that down, just the general cast. I would love to talk about that a little bit later, because I do agree, and I think we both have a bit more we want to say. While you were talking about the box office, it got me curious, and I looked to see just where Jurassic Park 3 falls in, and not just this original trilogy, but the series as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
It made just a little over half of what Lost World Jurassic Park made, right? Made like 360 mil. Lost World made 620 mil. Would you believe me if I told you that Jurassic Park 3 made under half of all of the Jurassic World films?
Jurassic Park 3 made under half?
Yeah, in fact, all of the Jurassic World films made more money than the Lost World Jurassic Park.
Okay. Now, everything costs more in 2020 than it did in 2001, but still, that's insane.
It's not even close. It's not even close. So there are 4 Jurassic World films. The 4th one being its own thing. They just use the Jurassic World name. The trilogy of them, each one of them made over $1 billion. $1
billion with a B?
With a B. Including Jurassic World Dominion, which came out in 2022 when cinema was, the box office was still really recovering.
This is the one. These are the movies with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, right?
Correct.
They made $1 billion each?
Every single one made over $1 billion.
I totally believe you, by the way. But I never saw them, and I'm like, count me among the apparently few people who didn't go see this movie.
Yeah, I remember when Jurassic World came out, that was a moment. That one was like a big deal, because that's the first one we had in like 14 years. It was a much, like you kind of said earlier, much needed break after Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic Park 3 did not leave, it didn't whet my appetite for any more of these.
Yeah. Wow. I'm still in shock about that. All right. So,
that's right.
Tommy, do you have any other thoughts before we jump into the synopsis?
Oh, wait, I'm allowed to share a thought right now?
Shut up.
I mean, I would love to take a second to say how I generally felt about it.
Please say what you generally feel about it.
Generally, how do I generally feel about this? Generally, it's okay. I really agree with what you said. The pacing of this is relentless, and I mean that positively. Sometimes pacing can be a little too much. Be like, God, I need a break. I need a second to breathe. This movie definitely gives you those seconds to breathe, but they really do keep it to a minimum. And you had mentioned that we sat down and the film's runtime's like 92 minutes. Credits start rolling at like minute 84. This is the tightest of 90s.
Yes. Which
I do think is, like you said, like the biggest benefit of this. It gets in, it gets out. It's entertaining. It's never, I struggle to think of any moments where I was like actively bored by what was going on. Because something interesting, for better or worse, is pretty much always going on. So I think it's hard to say exactly whether I'm like, yeah, good time, or if I'm like, maybe not. I think we'll find that as we go along. But yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. So, all right, nice. Now I'm ready. Now that I said generally how I feel about it, let's get into that recap.
All right. All right, so this is the third Jurassic Park movie. If you haven't seen the first Jurassic Park 2 movies, this movie probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But you could probably watch this, actually, without having seen the other two. And really, the only thing that you need to know is that Sam Neill, as Dr. Alan Grant, is a paleontologist who went to a place called Jurassic Park on Isla Nubular, whatever.
You know what? I'm not even going to correct you.
Thank you.
Yep, Isla Nublar.
Nublar, whatever it is. But that was the island, and then there's another island, which was like the second island for the Jurassic Park, where they did a bunch of experiments and stuff.
Site B, that's the island that, as we learned in the second one, this was like, while Isla Nublar was like their lab and for the actual park and everything, Isla Sorna was like actually, it's like where they did a lot of the breeding and preserved a lot of the animals.
Yeah. So, there is also William H. Macy stars as Paul Kirby. Amanda Kirby is played by Téa Leoni, who plays Paul's ex-wife. Billy is played by Alessandro Nivola. Billy is...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I thought I was doing
it. I thought you were moving on.
Billy is Alan's assistant. He's also like in the holes teaching people how to like scrub dirt off of bones. And so he's like right by Alan the whole time. And there is at least one more person that you need to know who it is. Well, two more people. Trevor Morgan plays Eric. Eric is Paul and Amanda's son. Amanda and Paul are no longer together, but Eric is their son. Laura Dern plays Ellie Sattler, who was a paleontologist like Alan. She was with him as a colleague in the first one. Now she has a family. She settled down. She does not accompany him on this adventure. And the only other thing you need to know is that there's a gang of 3 guys that accompany them. Their names are Nash, Udesky, and Cooper.
They're the cannon fodder crew.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. So basically, it starts with Alan is at Ellie's house, and he's like reprimanding the toddler for herbivores attacking each other, saying it was unrealistic. They go inside, they talk a little bit about how the raptors were able to like attack them so effectively, and Alan offers his hypothesis, which was that the dinosaurs actually were speaking to one another, that they were able to talk, and that's why they were able to hunt them so effectively on, was it Isla Nublar? Isma Nublark.
Yes.
On Jurassic Park. In the first island. Okay. And that they're actually smarter than people. So he goes to a conference and he gives a speech in which he basically says dinosaurs were intellectually and socially advanced, and if not for the fact that they were all killed, they would be the ones as the dominant species on the Earth. People are literally running out of the auditorium in boredom. The people that stay... Go ahead.
I was going to ask, did he make it like pointed at this point like dinosaurs in general, or was he specific at this point about the specific dinosaur he believes was the smart one? I think he was talking
about velociraptors in particular.
Okay, gotcha, cool.
So he's also trying obviously to get more funding and whatever. His whole thing is like, hey, he wants specifically to move on. He doesn't want to talk about what happened at Jurassic Park. That's all he wants to talk to him about. After his speech, the whole room raises their hands. Does anyone have any questions not about the incident at Jurassic Park? And then he basically gets a question about Jurassic Park anyway. And it ultimately ends up with he leaves the room The people that were serious about listening to him here left because they are not interested. The people that stayed are the people that want to hear about Jurassic Park. He doesn't want to talk about Jurassic Park, so he leaves. He goes back to Billy. Billy's his assistant. Billy was getting very close with another assistant who was toothbrushing a bone when...
oh my god, I forgot about her.
Yeah, she gone. I said they lifted her from the makeup chair, they dollied her into position in the dirt, and all she had to do was lay on her stomach for a scene and make goo-goo eyes at Billy. And that's what she did. And then they go inside where they are 3D printing, literally 3D printing, a Velociraptor voice box, larynx, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So, like a bird call.
Yeah.
And then they're like, someone comes and is like, hey, why don't you come to lunch with us? Why don't you come to lunch with us? I won't take no for an answer. So they go to lunch. Dr. Alan Grant's like, what are they going to ask me? And they are like, hey, we would like you to come with us. It's me and my wife's anniversary or whatever, and we would like a tour of Isla Sorna. And they have permission from the Costa Rican government, the United Nations, to fly really, really low and go over the islands, and it's going to be great. Now, the movie actually opens with a guy and a young boy paragliding off the back of a boat, and the boat goes into the mist. Everyone on the boat dies, and the paraglider goes off into the island. They steer it into the island. You know, where all the terrible dinosaurs are. Okay, that probably isn't going to come up later, but just, think about it. So, they're like, we're just going to fly over. We want a tour guide. Alan is like, you're not going to see very much from up here. And then they're like, no, it'll be fine. And this is where William H. Macy and Téa Leoni come in, right? So he's like, fine. He goes there with Billy. He gets on the plane. There are 3 mercenaries on the plane. Udesky and Cooper and the pilot Nash. And then he's like, if you look out to the left, you'll see the Bronchiosaur and that's actually the Alpha. Ma'am, you're not. And then they're like, we can't see anything. It's like, well, if you looked over out this window, they're like, no, you idiot, we're looking for Eric. And then they're like, look for a place to land. And William H. Macy's like, I told you, not on the first pass. And he's like, land? We're not going to land. And then the mercenaries knock out Grant. He wakes up, he hallucinates a dinosaur talking to him, realizes it's Billy. Alan! And then, fun fact, they landed on an airstrip on the island. The one thing that he said he would never do. Basically, William H. Macy said, I work in imports, exports, textiles, logistics. I'm a very rich man. I can do whatever I need to do. What number would you like me to write down so I can keep funding your research? And that's under the pretense he said he would go. They asked in the speech, the lecture, whatever, would you ever consider going to Isla Sorna? And he's like, I'll never go there for any reason. And then someone's like, here's $1 million. He's like, bro. So they land. Now they're on Isla Sorna. The Kirbys are like, you don't understand. We're leaving. We're not leaving. And the wife is at the edge of the woods. Eric! Using a bullhorn. Eric!
Yeah.
And Grant is like, you need to knock that the fuck off. And so William H. is like, he says it's a bad idea. What? Why? Using the bullhorn. And then the Spinosaurus shows up. And then they all run onto the plane. There, except for one of them. I think it's Cooper. Cooper is still, they're like, he's a big boy. He'll take care of himself. a dinosaur the size of the fucking Chrysler building emerges from the woods. It basically is already about to kill Cooper. And then they run into Cooper. As they take off, they also hit the Spinosaurus, which causes them to go off into the woods, crash landing in a tree. And then they're in the tree. They're not out of the woods yet. Haha. They're not out of the woods yet. They are in a tree. The Spinosaurus shows up and is like, cool. We're all gonna fucking die. But then a Tyrannosaurus Rex shows up and the two fight. And from the way they filmed it, or staged it, or whatever, shot it, it looks like the Tyrannosaurus is gonna win. At the last second, the Spinosaurus fucking murders it. And it's like, oh, cool. And it was not one of the creatures, they make a point of saying this, that was not one of the dinosaurs that was in the plans for Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, how the fuck did this thing show up? That doesn't make any sense.
Is it around now that Alan kind of makes a comment like, these fuckers were up to so much shit they shouldn't have, kind of implying that they were going outside their, what jurisdiction they should have had in terms of making the Spinosaur?
Yes.
Okay.
Paul also had a satellite phone. The radio in the plane doesn't work. The satellite phone doesn't work. But the Spinosaurus then kills Nash, one of the other mercenaries, and eats the satellite phone. So now they have no phone, no radio, and they're on foot in the jungle, or the forest, whatever you want to say. And that's when they reveal that they're not very wealthy. Paul Kirby is... Paul Kirby. Paul Kirby reveals he's actually divorced from his wife, that they're a middle-class couple, and he does bathroom remodelings.
Yeah.
Alan Grant's like, so that check you gave me is gonna bounce. And he's like, well, I can pay you if you ever need to get your bathroom done. Amanda's boyfriend at the time, Ben, had taken her son Eric parasailing, and they have not been seen in 8 weeks.
So this island is hundreds of miles off of the coast of Costa Rica, right?
Yeah.
So she's letting her boyfriend take her son parasailing
Far
200
away,
miles into the ocean, off of the coast of an island that is known to have dinosaurs
in a rusted ass old motorboat.
Oh my god, Mother of the Year award.
Yeah.
So jeez.
They were like, we tried the UN, we tried our embassy, we tried Costa Rica. They wouldn't help. They wouldn't do anything.
Yeah. The embassy, there's a good running bit. The U.S. embassy gets brought up like 2 or 3 times, and every time Gary Busey's like, well, don't fucking ask them. They're not going to help.
That's William H. Macy, not Gary Busey. God
damn it. No, I get them mixed up every
He also
time.
kept calling you Desky William H. Macy.
It's the mustache.
Yeah, he's
mustache blindness.
I guess. Not all people with mustaches look alike.
Yeah, we do.
He also basically kidnapped Alan, and the mercenaries didn't know. They kidnapped Alan and brought him here against his will because Paul thought that the Jurassic Park incident happened on this island. And so that happened on Isla Nublar, and they're on Isla Sorna, and they're like, you idiot. So good. Alan and Billy are like, bro, we're not helping you find your son. We're going to the coast to get help. See you later. And the two of them are like, with Udesky, like, well, I guess we'll keep looking for Eric in the direction that he's going. So they all keep traveling together. They then encounter the paraglider They discover the camera. The camera reveals that Eric was alive because the camera films him getting out of the paraglider. But for some reason, they're like, hey, turn off the camera. But Ben doesn't escape. And something happens which causes... Ben was alive.
Yeah.
Eric was alive. Eric tells Ben to turn off the camera. Ben dies still strapped into the paraglider.
Yeah. So was he like just unable? Because they turn off the camera. So presumably Ben died like right after they turned off the camera.
And he's a skull and bones. He's not a corpse.
Yes. So clearly, and it's like, what? How long has he been on this island? Like 6 weeks? 8 weeks? Okay.
8 weeks.
So in 8 weeks, I don't think bodies could decompose that fast. Maybe in the tropical environment of this. But like, yeah, how did he die? Also, did he not, when they were parasailing...
He must have, he straight up must have snapped his neck the next second after the camera turned off.
Yeah, because I thought, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. When they're parasailing and like the boat crashes into the rocks, they're trying to unclip from the boat, right? But they're unable to do it. Oh, no, okay, I'm watching the scene again. Ben was the boyfriend?
Yeah. Ben.
Okay, Ben undoes the clip with his hand. For some reason in my mind, I remembered him like cutting it with a knife, and I was like, why wouldn't he cut himself
did
down?
Too. So yeah. I'm like, so Eric, did you leave him up there? Like, did Ben just slowly die? But then how did he become literal skeleton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I'm watching this scene. They're seeing the boat's going to crash. And the Eric is like, we're going to crash. And Ben's like, no, we're not. I'm going to cut this loose. Move your hands. Let go. And then it looks like he's trying to cut it. But then we zoom in the close up. He's just undoing the carabiner screw. So he never ends up cutting it despite saying he's going to cut. Oh, maybe he means cut it like figuratively. But what weird words to use then, because then I'm like, why wouldn't he cut himself down? I guess he didn't have a knife anyway. Where you were at the part where they found the camcorder.
Yeah, so they think that Eric's still alive, and then they're like, hey, this paraglider, let's pack it up. It may be useful. So they pack up the paraglider. Parasail. They pack up the parasail. And then they find a horde of velociraptor eggs.
Yeah.
And they start getting chased by velociraptors. And
do they start getting chased right away?
There's a little bit of downtime, but there really isn't much that happens except that Mr. and Mrs. Kirby are getting their freak on, slowly rekindling the flame while looking for their child.
Right. Oh, and they went down to the facility, and that's where... Yeah, sorry, go on.
So then the velociraptors start to chase them. They go down to this abandoned facility. They don't know that they're being chased yet. There's the head in the jar, and it's like, oh, that's cool. And it turns out to be a real velociraptor. They start getting chased through the facility. They're able to, like, trick one, but they encounter them, like, basically being like, grr, grr, grr. And then Sam Neill's like, bruh, they do speak.
Yeah, you're right. He's calling for help.
He's calling for help.
It's a good thing Sam Neill pays close attention to what it sounds like in that moment. Comes back later.
So they flee, and they end up in, like, a herd of dinosaurs. And they're also still being chased. And they get to some trees, and they decide the only way to get out of this is up. But because they had basically been in a stampede of dinosaurs, Alan is separated from the rest of them. And the raptors surround him and are basically ready to do him like they did Udesky. Also, Udesky died by the velociraptors. At one point, they went to rescue him, but it turns out it was a trap. They literally kept him alive to try and trap the humans, and lure them in, and then they just break his skull with their jaw.
Yeah, they snap his neck.
Yeah.
Like, what?
They would have inherited the Earth, apparently.
Oh my gosh. I love the idea of a velociraptor snapping someone's neck because they're done with them. Not like eating them, snapping his neck like they're a fucking Hitman villain.
Yeah. No. He got Agent 47'd.
Mm-hmm.
So Alan, while being separated, is saved because a bunch of gas grenades go off, and the velociraptors are scared of the gas. He's saved by Eric, who has been living in like a bomb shelter type thing.
Yeah,
it's like a hatch.
Yeah, they said it looks like a bomb shelter. They said it was like a car, not a car, like a truck or something.
Like an APC or something?
Yeah, I remember them saying something weird, like, oh yeah, it was in this. I'm like, wait, that's what that was?
Yeah, but the hatches and everything make it look like it's
like a mini cellar, yeah.
So Alan is like eating food out of cans, and like this is the rest before the basically the nonstop ride to the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was a supply truck, is what it says.
Okay, don't forget the boy. He has Chekhov's T-Rex piss.
He does have a bottle of T-Rex piss that nobody really wants to acknowledge how he got.
Yeah, he's like, how'd you get this? Don't ask. And then the T-Rex piss doesn't come up at all the rest of the movie, right?
Well, he drinks it. It's like 127 hours, right? When you run out of water, right. You drink your piss.
Yeah, that's right. Sam Neill just opened the jug and drank it right there.
Noted piss drinker Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really weird scene.
They are like, we're going to go for the coast. And he's like, what about my parents? And they're like, well, if they're smart, they'll go for the coast. Billy is with the Kirbys, and they're like, we're going to go for the coast. And they're like, what about my child? And he's like, if we're smart, we're going to... Sam Neill is going to go to the coast, and he's going to expect us to go where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 5 seconds later, they encounter each other. By the way, the whole time, the Kirbys, Paul and Amanda... The whole time, Alan!
Oh my God!
Alan! Eric!
It's almost insufferable.
Paul! The whole time. The whole movie. They never shut the fuck up.
First thing he says when they get off the plane and they're yelling. He's like, no, quiet.
They never stop.
Though, they do have repercussions pretty much every time they do this.
Yeah, they never learn. So, then they reunite. They basically barely they hear each other, and they get to the Spinosaurus enclosure. Now this is where it gets ridiculous. They're on the other side of like a fence. William H. Macy is on the side of the fence that they're on, but he's separated by a rope fence. Basically, like if you were going to climb like a rope wall, right? Like a rope ladder.
Yeah, it's like one of the...
So that's what's separating. That's what's separating. Rope? Yeah, maybe like braided rope, like metal rope. But that's what's separating him from his son. The holes in the fence are big enough for an adult to climb through. Sam Neill, he climbs through it, dude. No, he's on their side of the fence.
Oh wait. No, because there's the rope is only on
Pull up the
Sam
scene.
Neill. Yeah, I have it up.
Okay, hang on. I'm pulling it up.
The rope is only on one side. It's only on Sam Neill and Eric's side.
Yes, I'm saying on the William H. Macy side, the big holes in the fence are big enough that he walked through them.
Right. But they still can't get through
that doesn't even look like they could climb that.
Well, CJ,
they climbed a fucking chain link fence in the first one.
Yeah, but CJ, there's the dinosaur barbed wire swords at the top.
Jump!
I don't think that's something you can just jump
The
over.
one kid took fucking 1,000 volts and went flying.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, I guess there actually is a really sizable gap. Not that they could jump over, but climb through.
I'm saying.
But it's all moot anyway, because there's
that looks like regular rope.
There's a car-sized hole in the fence, like 20 feet to the right.
Yes. Okay. So we just talked about giant metal fence supported by concrete, metal rope, right? Okay. The Spinosaurus is in its enclosure. The people get through the car-sized hole in the fence, right? By outrunning the Spinosaurus. Okay? The Spinosaurus then headbutts the fence, and it explodes. I'm watching the scene back really quick. Yeah, so he headbutts it, and the dinosaur headbutts it, and breaks these metal supports. The top sword thing just goes, rips off. I'm doing like frame advance. Everything else turns into fucking rubble. He takes out the entire section of fence by not even running backwards and charging up, a straight up headbutt. Then they run to this like little photo hut that's like 20 feet in front of them. There's a small cast iron door that they are able to lock in time. Now, the other metal thing that the size of, a fucking Chick-fil-A, that got pulverized with a headbutt. Now the Spinosaur can't fucking come up to this door and open it? He can't do the same thing with this building made out of wet toilet paper and rusted iron?
It's like he knocks on it twice, like, hello, anyone home?
Yeah, he's like, I'm selling cookies, it's your grandmother. And Billy's like, that door ain't gonna hold. I'm gonna take the screenshot of Billy's face in this scene. This is Billy. Billy looking at the door. Where are you? That door ain't gonna hold.
He's the only one with a mind.
Everyone else is like, oh my god, Eric, you're safe. No, the fuck he ain't. So they're all like, hey, we lived. It's over. It's not over. They go downstairs and they find themselves in these aren't pterodactyls. These are the pteranodons, which are like the pointy head, spear-headed ones. They find themselves in basically a giant bird cage, covered in fog, and the pterodon abducts Eric. Oh, this is also where it's revealed that Billy stole the Velociraptor eggs, and Alan is like, you're just as bad as the people that built this place.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy's like, lost, has no purpose in life. He's about to leave the group, which he actually like almost does for a scene, like he doesn't go with them. And then he's like, I'm going to make a sacrifice. Alan Grant decides to keep the eggs. Billy takes the parasail and flies off and rescues Eric, but then the pterodons basically peck him to death. Eric lives, and then it's Eric and his parents and Alan who are able to get out of the birdcage. But then the pterodons just escape anyway, because they don't close the door all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I would have made sure that door was shut before I left, but fine. They go to this boat. The whole time, Sam Neill sees a boat, and they're like really far away from it, and they're like, we got to get to that boat. And then it's like constantly a reminder about the boat, because the boat is in the river, and the river will take them to the sea, and then, all will be well. They get in the boat. The dad, Paul Kirby, is like, bruh, I know how to fix engines. And they fix the engine, and they're going out to the river.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah, really great. Good thing you didn't need Udesky for anything. And then the thing that ate the boat in the first one comes back and tries to eat their boat. It destroys their boat. Yes. Oh yeah, before that,
go ahead. I was about to bring this up.
The whole time they've randomly heard Paul's phone, his ringtone. It's inside the Spinosaurus because the Spinosaurus ate Cooper, and Cooper was holding the phone.
Yeah.
Well, what comes up must go down, and so now,
scene.
yes, and now the Spinosaurus has pooped it out.
Yeah. Do you
And
know
so
what
they go
use
digging-
to make the poop piles?
I don't want to know.
What if it's something really simple?
What is it?
250 gallons of oatmeal.
Okay.
What? Not an oatmeal fan?
No. All right. So then they dig the phone out of the piles of shit. A dinosaur comes up and is like, "I'm gonna eat you." No, you smell like Spinosaurus shit. I'm good. They get back on the boat. The thing eats the boat. And then they get off the boat, and though they did manage to get the satellite phone in which the child of Ellie and her husband, who works at the State Department, is like, Barney, and like the door is locked, so he can't bring the mom the phone. He can't bring Laura Dern the phone. And then Laura Dern hits redial. They're in like a shark cage while this thing's trying to eat them. He grabs the phone and he's like, Ellie, I'm in Isla Sorna, help. And so she is like, good thing my husband works for the State Department. They hear a helicopter playing Fortunate Son, so they start running to the coast. But then they're ambushed one last time by the velociraptors, who have been chasing them because of the eggs. So Alan opens the bag and finds the eggs, but also finds the larynx that Billy had printed. The Amanda Kirby is the one that has to give back the eggs, but then Alan uses the larynx to confuse the velociraptors, basically calling for help, but in the distance.
Yeah.
And right in front of them.
Really weird.
He's calling right in front of them. They look off in the distance, like there's something over there. No, he's right in front of you. So you're so smart, you know, you've invented language, you have abstract thought, and you've been chasing these people down. You understand the concept of mercy, but you can't figure out that he's not calling right in front of you.
Not just mercy, but also spite, because remember, they snapped his neck for no reason.
They Agent 47, yeah.
In this scene, it's really goofy because not only does he like do the help call, he initially like blows into it differently and it makes a different noise. It's like the raptors, like if anything, get a little more agitated.
They're like, what?
Like, no,
what did you call me?
And your mother. They're like, no, do the help call. And you see him like reassess for a second and start like doing the different call. That's what I was alluding to earlier. Oh, it's a good thing he paid attention to exactly how it sounded.
Yeah, and then knew how to manipulate the larynx.
Right, which we don't see him use ever before that. And the T-Rex pee, it's just sitting in his stomach at this point.
Or the other vials. What happened to Wayne Knight?
Oh, so right. Yeah. Where's the Barbasol can?
Where's the Barbasol can? So they take the eggs, they run to the coast, and the Marines and the Navy, who have been summoned by Ellie, probably with the help from the State Department, show up on the beach, literally like D-Day, and they're like, all right, we're here. And then they show up, and they're like, oh, by the way, your boy Billy's in the back. He's hurt real bad, and he's just been pecked a lot.
Yep. Even though, man, he lost so much blood in that river for how, like, he has, like, small pieces of skin missing from various parts of his face, a little bit on his neck.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't appear as though, like, he's missing any limbs or, like, no, his forearm got a little beat up.
In the nicest of senses, he got movie boo-boos.
Yeah. Yes. Wrap a bandage around their head and call it a day.
Yeah. Fortunate Son heals a lot of wounds. And then...
You're right, it does. It's copyright free. The
Pteranodons, they escaped because they left the door of the cage open, and now they're free, and they're flying alongside the helicopter.
So that shot actually was originally supposed to be the final shot of Jurassic Park. And then, like, I guess last minute in the first Jurassic Park, they changed it to be the Pelicans.
Well, you know, in the first movie there was a Jeep, and in this movie there was an overturned Jeep.
Oh, jeez.
All right, and that is Jurassic Park 3, the end of the first trilogy.
Yeah, and not just the first trilogy of Jurassic Park, the end of the first trilogy that we've covered here on the show.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And now I'm looking through, I'm like, are there any other films that we've covered that even have 2 sequels? I guess Knives Out is part of a trilogy. Shrek we could do. Oh, Toy Story, duh.
Oh yeah, Toy Story. I love the Knives Out trilogy. I feel like the third one's my favorite.
Agreed.
Yeah. By like a country mile.
Oh, really? I liked it a lot. I liked it, I would say, a little bit more than I liked Knives Out 1. Maybe
I'm just saying country mile as opposed to 2. I feel like 2's a movie you can only watch once.
Yeah. I agree that 3 and 1 are much better than 2. But can we say the same for Jurassic Park?
No. I feel like this one definitely has the problem of the first movie's a classic.
Mm.
The second one was always going to be an uphill battle. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you get past that. The third one is literally just, we have a franchise here.
Yeah. And I think a compliment that I'll give to the third one, just in relation to the series as a whole, like, yeah, the Jurassic Park 2, not quite as impactful as the first one. But this third one, I feel like in a lot of franchises, the third one would feel like a course correction. This one doesn't quite feel like a course correction. This one, despite retreading a few plot threads from the second one and the first one in terms of getting them to the island, it really does feel like its own thing. It's just like full throttle action most of the time. Which I do appreciate that of the 3, each of them kind of have their own identities.
Yeah, listen, the thing that 3 does really well is that it doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah.
And one thing I would say about 2 was I'm like, this movie is maybe 10, 15 minutes too long. Like, I don't care. Once they leave the island, I stop caring. And maybe that's feedback, because you don't see anything off the island. At the end of this movie, they don't go back to New York and are like, no. Hey, this is my patio.
Oh, no. Billy snuck a third egg off the island. Velociraptors in Brooklyn. No! Now I'd watch that movie. So, speaking of Jurassic Park 3 and kind of talking about the trilogy, maybe I was going to ask how would you rank the 3 in the trilogy, but maybe we'll talk about that near the end once we get a few more of our thoughts out. A question that we've asked for both 1 and 2 that I wanted to bring back up for 3 is, how do the visuals hold up in this one?
Man, I didn't even really pay that close of attention. There were a couple of green screen parts where I think you and I maybe were just really punishing to them. Like the one that stands out probably the most is when we had the parasite sailing in the beginning.
Yeah, that was a bit rough.
Yeah, no, I think the visuals are fine. I like the practical dinosaur stuff.
Yeah, I think the practical effects in this are the best. Okay. I think the visuals as a whole are the best in the first film. I think the practical effects are the best in this one. I think the CGI is the worst in this one.
I think the CGI is the worst in this one, but I think, again, and this is something that I'm cognizant of, we're comparing probably one of the most... We're comparing a classic to the third film in a trilogy.
Yeah, you're totally right. And that's not to say, like, all of the CGI is horrid.
Yeah.
Like, there are some really great all CGI shots. The shot of when they're at the big fence and they hear the cell phone and they turn around and the Spinosaurus is just standing there, standing still in the clearing. That looks amazing, and that's a CGI shot.
Yeah.
And also, that's just a badass moment, too. It's standing totally still, ready to, like, leap at him.
Yeah.
But, like, the practical effects, I was reading a little bit about let me find this, the Spinosaurus animatronic puppet. Apparently, it was enormous and just an absolute beast. It was a 1,000 horsepower motor that powered it, and it could turn its head with twice the force of gravity. And the tip of its nose could move more than 100 miles per hour when it was like swinging it side to side. It was so powerful that when they were filming it fighting the T-Rex, which I don't remember if you mentioned that in the recap, it fights the T-Rex like pretty early on when they get to kills it right away. Apparently, one of the big reasons for the T-Rex not being more featured is because when they were filming it, the Spinosaurus animatronic was so strong that it destroyed the T-Rex puppet with like one hit. It like tore open the neck or something like that. The head collapsed, neck tore open, hydraulic fluid shooting everywhere. Just incredible how powerful this robot was. It's a miracle that no one died making this movie because of how strong that fucker was.
Yeah, no, and maybe that's why the scene is the way it is, because if you go back and watch it, it feels like the T-Rex is gonna win, and I think even at the end, I'm like, wait, the fucking Spinosaurus won?
Yeah, it wins really quickly
after getting its ass kicked like the whole time.
Yeah, they did a good job. This, I feel like, oftentimes there's a term for this, like on TV tropes or whatever, of what is it, like a jobber, someone who's like established as strong immediately gets beaten, or it's like you take the big bad and then have a new big bad clear him out right away to establish higher stakes.
Yeah,
and it's a pretty well done trope, or like established trope. I think it's pretty good here because it immediately is like, nope, this is different. It's not a T-Rex is like the big thing. We're not redoing that. It's Spinosaurus. It's a different beast because not only is it bigger and has bigger arms, it can swim too. It's just like totally, well, not totally, but it kind of flips it on its head in a way, which was fun. It's unexpected for them to kill off the T-Rex so quickly.
Yeah, like... It also, like, just changes everything a little bit, you know? Like, the idea that the main thing you're going to be fighting is not the T-Rex the whole time.
Yeah.
Because in the first one, the T-Rex was legitimately scary, partially because you couldn't see it. Most of this movie, if not the whole movie, takes place during the day. You know? There isn't that whole fear, you know?
Yeah. The only night scene is the boat one when the Spinosaurus attacks near the end.
Yeah.
But real quick, just touching on like the puppets again, circling back. God, the T-Rex puppet when they first encounter it and it's eating and it pops its head over like the bush and whatnot. Incredible animatronic.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like, I don't want to take away. I really appreciate all of the commitment to practical effects, because we just don't have any of that anymore. I don't particularly like Yellowstone as a show. I did in the beginning, and then I feel like it really just stopped being fun. But there's a point in that show where he goes to this ranch and he meets a guy who makes spurs and the part for the boot, and they're all one piece of metal.
Okay.
And he says, I didn't know people still made them like that anymore. And the guy's this real old timer, and he's like, there's just a few. I'd be surprised if there were a few, but only a few. And he comes out, and he says basically the same thing to somebody else, and says, hey, I didn't know they still made them like that anymore. And the guy says to him, yeah, when he's gone, that's the last of the legends, right? We'll be all out of legends. And that's how I feel about practical effects, you know? Like, there is something that you can achieve with a real prop, with a real animatronic, with a real thing, that you just don't... There's something about it that you can't get out of CG, you know? And it just feels like we're... This is like the part where it's starting to cross over, you know?
Yeah. It's
point
one of
in
those
time.
things that's like, it cannot be stated enough how much subconsciously having the actual thing be in the scene with the actors heightens a scene.
Mm-hmm. Like, I know I've said this on the show before. Frank Oz is the puppeteer for Yoda, but Mark Hamill always gave the credit to Frank Oz, and they did a talk a few years ago, probably like 10 years ago at this point, where it's both of them on the stage, and Frank Oz says, people only believe in Yoda because you believed in Yoda. And that's so true. Like, there's so much of it which is the puppeteer, but it's, you don't believe in this puppet if Mark Hamill does not treat him the way he does, right? Like a real scene partner. And you just can't do that with something like, and I'm going to use an example from a movie that I think does really well. You can't do that in the same way with something like Thanos, right? What does it mean to be in a room with a giant purple grimace? You know? It's different, you know? They do an amazing job. They have eye lines, they have light lines, you know, they have him in the suit, they have him in the muscle suit. You know, when they have the people doing the stuff for the Hulk, they have them in Hulk suits now, or at least like the chest part so they can map it, and they have all the little things on the face and the light. But it's still, there's something missing, and you can tell the scenes where they shoot with the actor on set and the ones where they don't shoot it with him on set. You know?
Yeah. You definitely can tell. Okay, so visuals, I think we're about on the same page. Like, this does really feel as that turning point. I'm curious, once we eventually get to Jurassic World, how that'll, how that'll play out there, whether they use... Because I really don't remember how much of it's CGI, how much of it's practical. But a really important question that we asked in the pre-show is, were there any gay chicks in this?
No, I don't think there were.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the only...
I mean, we didn't get the gender and sexual preference of everybody in the Marines. I feel like
right.
I feel like there was a pretty fervent don't ask, don't tell policy at this point.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe Kathleen Kennedy snuck a gay chick in there. But like of the three women who actually get screen time in this, that being Téa Leoni, Laura Dern, and then the girl who you said they airlifted onto the ground for talking. I don't. They all showed romantic interest in dudes, so at the least they're bi.
I was thinking, there's three women in this. Surely they passed the Bechdel test. No, they don't.
Nope.
No.
And at that, I think one of my big complaints in this is just how the women in this are written. Because Laura Dern, she gets just like sidelined, which I understand that could be more contractual things. She's, I think, the most decently written of the women, but Téa Leoni's character is a numbskull for most of this. She's like the one who, oh no, we're in the jungle. And then she'll like run around screaming with her hands flailing like that. She does pretty much that near the beginning. And it's just like, it's just frustrating. It doesn't feel as though she is much of a character. And then the woman who they airlifted, I mean, hardly is one. She's in the film for like 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're being real serious, all of the dinosaurs are women, right? And we know that the velociraptors...
Life finds a way, CJ.
Yeah, well.
Which, do we ever find out?
Assigned female at birth.
It was because of the, what is it called? The, God, there was a term for it where they were like, yeah, they used frogs that can change their sex for mating or something like that. There was a term for it.
That seems like a pretty glaring oversight.
Right?
Let's use the I woke up as a girl syndrome frogs.
But yeah, it's especially with how prominent and capable the women are in the first two films, just a bit disappointing to see this one be kind of just a sausage fest. But yeah, it is what it is. But okay, cast. We talked a bit about how the cast felt imbalanced in this and how Sam Neill's really putting things on his back. I could not agree more.
He has no equal in this.
No.
He's not serving anybody in this. You could say, oh, he's serving Paul and Amanda, but no, he's not. He immediately finds out they duped him.
Yes. The second that they find out, the entire power dynamic changes.
I felt like one of the... I said this in the... it was so stupid that he went. It made no sense for him to go. Literally only to advance the plot did his character agree to go.
Yeah, they.
If I survived being eaten by a T-Rex in 2026, I wouldn't go in that fucking hemisphere again. I wouldn't go to that continent, that tectonic plate. I wouldn't go anywhere near it. I wouldn't go to Costa Rica.
But CJ, if he doesn't go, the Museum of the Rockies, Department of Paleontology at Montana State University, they're not going to have the funding. Oh, wait, they don't get it anyway.
They don't get it anyway.
But yeah, I do agree that it's like, it is tough to believe Sam Neill's character would go back. I do understand his circumstances monetarily. I think it sells not quite the greatest because it's literally the same exact thing from the first film. I do understand, like, them being like, listen, we're not even going to land. We're going to be on the plane the whole time. I could see him being like, oh, okay, I'll do that for a quick buck.
I was born on a Friday, and I might have been born on a turnip truck, but I wasn't fucking born on a turnip truck last Friday. Someone tries to tell me you want to fly over that island, I could get struck by lightning and land on that fucking island. I wouldn't go anywhere near it.
See, but you're not a paleontologist, CJ.
Hey, there's brain-eating amoeba in that pool. And in that one. But there's money on the other side of the pool. Walk around! Walk around!
See, and that's what he was doing. They were flying around the island.
I refuse.
It's like saying,
no.
Hey, there's money on the other side of the pool. I left it. Can you go grab it? And then someone pushing you into the pool while you're halfway
Tommy,
around it.
I would just... He obviously gets asked to do lectures. Just write a book, another book. Asked to do lectures on the fucking... just go on the lecture circuit and talk about Jurassic Park.
Yeah, wait, hold on a second. Yeah,
he doesn't like talking about it. He doesn't like talking about it. You know what he hates more than talking about it? Fucking going there.
Yeah, and you bring up writing a book,
which he did.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's written multiple books. The ones because Eric was the kid, right?
Yeah, so he wrote one before Jurassic Park and he wrote one after.
Yeah, so I feel like you would expect the one that he wrote after. That's probably like bestseller material.
Who wouldn't read the book about the guy who met the dinosaur?
Yeah.
Like,
I do have a hard time. Oh, okay. So reading the
don't tell me you're reading the wiki.
I'm reading a wiki for specifically Alan Grant.
Why is there?
They
Okay.
say that he was struggling with financing because people knew that dinosaurs were already living. So they're like, what's the point in studying them if they're alive? What's the point in... Which, like, I feel like that's not a great way to wave your hand at saying, no, they don't have funding. If anything, I feel like interest would surge.
Sam Neill, go to the range, get a howitzer, right? Park your thing off the shore of the fucking island, shell the goddamn place, make new fossils, then study those. That's what I would do.
Speaking of shelling the place, they had that fucking Barrett 50 cal grenade launcher at the start.
Yeah, and then every gun broke. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the more I think about it, the more that this reminds me of Predator in how it's like, no, we got these macho men with big guns. But at least in Predator, we get to see them use them a bit before they get picked off.
Yeah.
They don't even get to use them on the dinosaurs.
No, they don't get a single round off. So we were talking about the cast and how it feels lopsided because Sam Neill has nobody to play off. He's the tour guide, a literal tour guide for an island he's never been on for the stupid parents who are trying to get themselves killed. And the boy, who actually has more survival instincts than every one of them put together, and Billy, who betrays him, basically, right? The second film, so The Lost World, right?
Yes.
The Lost World has Goldblum, it has Julianne Moore, so there's something to play off there, but there's also the kid, right? That is like his actual reason for being there.
Yes, his daughter.
Yeah.
And
right?
There's also Vince Vaughn, too.
Yeah. And so they have that, and they have, Richard Schiff makes an appearance, right, before he dies. And, like, the people there are genuinely like, okay, this is stupid, we should leave. And then they don't get a chance to leave because you went to the fucking place that you shouldn't have gone. But there's more people to play off of. In the first one, like in the actual first Jurassic Park movie, it's really even. It's Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum and the kids. The whole reason that they're there is for the kids. But then there's all the other people, right? The engineer guy played by Sam Jackson and Wayne Knight, and there's a combination of motivations for people to be there, right? How could you pass up the opportunity to see living dinosaurs, right? The chaos theory element for Jeff Goldblum and the kids, the grandchildren of Richard Attenborough, right? And like there's just so much more going on, but none of it shows up or anything like that in the third one. The third one is literally like, we have to get out of town. Everyone had better motivations in the previous two films. Now, William H. Macy and Téa Leoni have a great motivation. If my child were lost on an island with dinosaurs, yes, I'm probably going into the jungle and I'm probably not coming out. But at least I'll have died the same place that they did, right? Like, yeah. I could get that desperation. But Sam Neill has no motivation to go there. There's no reason he should be there.
Yeah, I agree. And kind of getting back to your point of him having no one there with him, like, they try to do something with Billy here. They try to give him that, like, mentor-mentee. Billy does not bring any gravitas to this. So then, yeah, it's just like Sam Neill on his own at a place he shouldn't be with no one to really bounce off of, no peers. I think that's the big thing is like no peers. It just, It's a bit frustrating.
Everybody around him is a simpering idiot. And he is like...
except for Eric. Eric's somehow
everyone
more
except
competent than Billy.
Yeah. The only one more competent than Eric... the only one, is Alan Grant, and it's only by a little bit. Billy lived on his own on an island for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And gathered T-Rex piss somehow.
Eric, right?
Eric, yeah.
It's so confusing, because there's Billy, Eric. What was the name of the boyfriend?
Ben.
Ben. Too many B names. Too many B names, and they're all but when they're both generic.
Well, I'll let them know that you complained. So yeah, I mean, honestly, having a strong presence like Laura Dern would have been nice.
Yeah,
like just somebody else to do some heavy lifting would have been nice.
Yeah, and like, Gary God, William H. Macy, I did it again.
They're not at all similar.
They're so similar.
They're not. They're not anything alike.
White dudes.
Gary Busey is fucking insane. And like in his mid 80s.
Okay, let's see. Gary Busey, 82. William H. Macy, 76.
I stand by what I said.
But no, I agree, and it's just tough having him be like, because how interesting would this be if say it were like just Alan Grant on this island? What if they were flying over the island and they knock him out and they attach like a parachute to him and they like toss him overboard? Would that make this a more interesting film of just a paleontologist trying to survive on an an island of dinosaurs?
One more time?
Would it be more interesting if it were just Alan Grant on the island? Like, imagine they threw him overboard and it's just a singular paleontologist.
Like Hunger Games dinosaurs? No, I don't think that's more interesting.
Or not Hunger Games, like, like Rambo, but it's him versus the dinosaurs. And I'm not saying that's like he's Dr. Alan Grant walking around with a machete chopping off dino heads.
I mean, Sylvester Stallone in that role would be a lot more interesting because he just shows up on the dinosaur island and fucking just goes full John Rambo. Yeah, that'd be more interesting.
Okay, so one question that we asked in the pre-show, and I think we know the answer to it, but we said we would directly address it, is the runtime. Did the film benefit from the runtime being so short and the pacing being what it was?
Yes. The movie could not have lasted any longer. It was the perfect length.
Definitely agree.
I'm not saying it overstayed its welcome. I'm not saying it got close, but I don't want to find out how close it got. Yeah,
totally agree. I think even like 10 extra minutes on this might be a bit tough.
Oh, yeah. And I'm saying like comedians always say this. You have a special that lasts an hour. 55 minutes, you're crying on the floor, wishing it was 5 minutes longer. You go 10 minutes longer, nobody's laughing, everyone's like, wow, this sucked. And it's how you end the special, the comedy special, that colors how everybody feels about the whole thing. So you could have been killing them for an hour, but they'll just remember that last 5 minutes. It's like, you overstayed your welcome. You want to leave them wanting more, but what that really means is you have to stop before people realize they've almost had their fill.
Yes.
Because people don't know what they want. They have a limit. They just can't articulate it to you.
Yeah. Definitely agree. So, sounds like a resounding yes on that. The pacing did benefit big time. No. A question that... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was agreeing.
I was going to say, a question that I have also asked you, I asked originally with Jurassic Park 1 and then just checked in again on Jurassic Park 2. Was this scary, CJ? Did you find Jurassic Park 3 scary at all?
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think...
Completely
I feel like
numb.
the first one got the closest there in terms of like leaning into the horror. Though I do want to think that it's largely just how much you've grown, CJ.
Thank you.
I feel
think
like your tolerance has really increased.
I believe that. I feel that there was just no jump scare at all in this. And
Yeah.
if there anything was anything close, it was so telegraphed.
Wait, you're telling me that Téa Leoni looking at all of the giant tubes was telegraphed?
There was a point where every scene where there was going to be a dinosaur was telegraphed by a fucking ringtone.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. All right, is it about time for us to rank the trilogy?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Jurassic Park 3, it's got to be on top. It's the best one.
Well, you're high as a kite.
I guess the question is, what's better? Did you like 2 or did you like 3 better?
I like 2 better.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. 2 surprised me a lot. I think 2 aged a bit better than this one did.
I don't know.
I feel like while this certainly has things 2 doesn't, I think 2 tells a much more complete story. This one's like pretty much just action. The character arcs are pretty light. Like in the first one, Sam Neill has the whole character arc of like finding those paternal instincts inside of him, you know? In the second one, I don't quite remember as much, but there was a lot more going on with the story. Mm-hmm. This one, like, Sam Neill, he wants to get off the island. He got tricked into going there. He doesn't really have a character arc. I think the person who's closest to having a character arc in this is Billy. And I guess Sam Neill's character arc is that he forgave Billy for saying that he's no better than the people who made this place. And then realizing once he thought Billy was dead that he was too harsh on him.
Yeah.
So I think just 2 had a little bit more going on aside from being just plot. So I think that's kind of where I'm landing with 2 being higher than 3.
No, my list is 1, 2, 3, and Law of Diminishing Return. I'll be interested to see when we watch Jurassic World in 23 episodes, where I put Jurassic World.
Yeah, me too. I remember liking Jurassic World on release, though. That might be one that, as I sat with it, I had a lot of hey wait a minutes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, how about favorite scenes in this?
The same with Laura Dern in the beginning. Man. I don't usually do this. I don't have a scene that stands out for me as like being above the rest.
Mm-hmm.
There's some cool stuff, but none of it to me feels like I like this more than others. Everything feels homogenous and not memorable.
Yeah, I feel that. I think I agree a lot with that. I feel like a lot of scenes have high points, but are otherwise kind of forgettable. Or, like you said, homogenous. If I had to pick, I mean, I do love that. I love the fencing solely for the one moment of the Spinosaurus standing there. I think overall, though, the Pteranodon cage in the giant bird cage, I think that's my favorite sequence. That's the one that, to me, treads the closest to the tension of the first film, even if it's a bit ludicrous with, like, Billy parachuting or, like, base jumping in it and all of that stuff and the inconsistencies in the structural integrity of the walkways and everything. I still think that that's the scene that I like most in this.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the night boat scene. I like that a lot. Just them getting absolutely demolished by the Spinosaur and Sam Neill's trying to call Laura Dern on the satellite phone, and her toddler is the one who answers, and like he gets distracted and starts watching Barney instead of giving the phone to his mom.
That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, pretty good.
My two favorite scenes involve Laura Dern.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I love Laura Dern.
For favorite performances, I mean, Sam Neill, Laura Dern.
Yeah. I do. I really do like William H. Macy. I think he brings some comedic value to it. I'm not saying he's a drag, but I feel like he just doesn't give Sam Neill anything to work off of. And that's why it's the worst one so far. Still a fine movie.
Yeah.
I don't regret the time that we spent with it.
I do like how much William H. Macy is kind of, I don't think dopey's the right word.
Man, his stock tanks the whole movie.
Yeah, I'm glad he survives. I'm really glad he made it to the end.
Yes, he did not deserve the hero's death.
No. All right, one more question I had before we kind of start transitioning into other things, unless you had other things you wanted to bring up, is I gotta ask, what was your favorite dinosaur in this?
I like the little green guys that are outside the first facility that never show up again.
Oh, the guys from the opening of the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that they made a little appearance. You gotta throw them in there at least once, just so that people aren't like, but hey, what about those guys? For me, I mean, my favorite dinosaur period is in this, the Ankylosaurus, though they don't really have anything to do to the plot. So, I'll say I think my favorite's probably the Spinosaurus. I think that they kind of nailed it. I think that there's a version of this movie where it's like, well, that was a disappointing main dinosaur they had to face. But I think that it did a good enough job at feeling like a threat in a way that's similar but different enough to the T-Rex.
Yeah. No. And they probably needed to get away from the T-Rex to keep it fresh. So
yeah. All right. Well, CJ, I got a pretty important question for you.
Go ahead.
So, don't know if you remember this, but Jurassic Park 3 is actually part 2 in our duology on movies that CJ apparently doesn't have a great memory of.
That's
the first being The Princess Diaries, of course. So, CJ, which one did movies that CJ apparently doesn't have a great memory of better?
So, a little bit of a curveball here. Because I didn't even remember that I hadn't seen it, it's got to be this one, right?
That's a great point. I think you're right on that.
I mean, that's the direction that we have to go.
I agree.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. The fucking Marine.
I can't believe. I just want to know how the wire got crossed that it was you watched the Marine but remembered it as Jurassic Park 3. Where did Jurassic Park 3 somewhere between then and now weasel its way and plant the seed into your mind that was what you watched?
I wish I knew. I wish I had that much control over my brain.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh my God. All right. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad we got that settled. What genre is it?
Good question. Adventure, action adventure?
At first blush, that seems right.
Is there anything else that, I guess sci-fi? I feel like sci-fi is...
Sci-fi? Okay, would it be sci-fi action?
Ah, jeez.
I don't know.
I guess, okay, where do you feel sci-fi falls in it? Do you feel as though sci-fi is of greater import than either of them?
I had a teacher in high school who is a huge science fiction fan. He was my 9th grade English teacher. Shout out Mr. Hendricks. And one day, it was like a day like between units or something, and he sat us down and he was like, all right, what constitutes sci-fi? And we all gave him words, and he wrote them all down on the board. And then he said, No. It is about when the science being presented is rooted in fiction. It is about fictional science. And the science of taking frog jizz and making islands upon islands of dinosaurs out of the remains of mosquitoes frozen in amber. That's based on fictional science. That is science that does not exist.
Yeah.
So, that is my only criteria for something to be sci-fi. So
I actually totally agree. That is my criteria as well. I just wasn't sure if that felt like it superseded the others.
I would kick adventure out and I would keep action in.
Okay. So sci-fi at the top?
Yep.
Okay. Now, what if I told you that on our ballot we had action/adventure as one genre?
That's fine.
Okay. I'll put it down as sci-fi action/adventure.
That's fine. I find the distinction between the two very small.
I agree.
Like I would consider The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings to be adventure films.
Agreed.
But the crossover is so it doesn't
Agreed.
matter.
Like John Wick, action. Hobbit, adventure.
Adventure is
Indiana
about
Jones?
starting in one place and your destination is another.
Yeah. Indiana Jones, globe-trotting adventure.
Yes. It's to the degree of what is your wanderlust.
Yeah. All right. So sci-fi, action, adventure. Pretty easy. All right.
Yep.
Let's see. What's next on this list? Oh, CJ. This is a pretty tough question. Any insights on why the title is Jurassic Park 3?
Actually, it's not the third time they went to Jurassic Park, but it's the third time they went to that well.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm not quite sure why they would have called it that.
Did they ever go back to Jurassic Park?
To the actual one?
Isla
Nublar?
Nubular.
Right. Isla Nubular. I mean, we're
Who
just
knows?
going to have to watch the next one to find out.
All right.
All right, CJ, most important question. Could you have done it?
Am I Sam Neill?
I mean, I think you gotta be, right?
I don't think I can, and it's because I can't stick my hand in dinosaur shit.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, I mean, he has to run a couple times, and he doesn't even climb the tree. He stays basically with his feet on the ground the whole movie.
Or in water.
Yeah, that's true. I don't float, so that would be a problem. Okay, no, I can't do it.
Now, can I let you know what your answer was to Jurassic Park 1? Because I think you might have the same answer.
Okay.
Your answer to Jurassic Park 1 was yes in Laura Dern's spot.
Oh, I could definitely be Laura Dern. I 100% could do Laura Dern's spot. I couldn't do a Sam Neill. I can't do a Jeff Goldblum. What did I say for Jurassic Park 2?
You just said flat out no.
No, I couldn't do that, yeah. No, but I could do a Laura Dern.
So I'll jot it down as no, then parenthetical, unless in Laura Dern's spot, comma, off the island.
Yeah. 100% could do that.
Perfect. Love it. Okay. CJ. Is the film okie dokie?
Okay. I'm choosing to give this answer in the spirit in which this question is posed and trying to meet the film where it's at. Okay? This film, you have to judge things where you find them. And I think, in a vacuum, this film is perfectly fine. I don't regret the time I spent with it. I think the trilogy as a whole, which we didn't really comment on too much, but the trilogy as a whole is fine. It obviously is front heavy, which is the burden of creating an instant classic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and say the film is okie dokie, and that doesn't necessarily mean that, like, I need to revisit this, or that I think other people should necessarily, like, go out of their way to watch it. But it's totally fine. It doesn't do anything offensive. The dumbest thing that it does is the reason for getting you into the scenario, but then the scenario is fine. So I'm going to say the film is okie dokie.
Nice. Hey, CJ, congratulations.
Oh, did I just give like 10 okie dokies in a row?
You just tied the record of 10 okie dokies in a row.
Wow, all right.
That's awesome.
Woo!
Yeah, you know what? I think we should talk about the trilogy a little bit, but first I'll give my okie dokies. I'm really torn. I'm really waffling back and forth a lot on it because, yeah, it's a bit hollow. I would say it's more than a bit hollow, but I would say it's a pretty competent action joyride or thrill ride. In the pacing, I mean, I genuinely have a hard time off the top of my head thinking of a film with pacing quite like this. There are, of course, a lot of, I've seen a lot of films that are like nonstop action, like Mad Max Fury Road. That's pedal to the metal, no pun intended, the entire time. And this feels kind of in that vein. And I really appreciate that because I do think that it gives it, like we were saying earlier, it gives you just the right amount of time to breathe. I loved the analogy that you gave about stand-up comedians because I think that is so true with this. I'm like with Miss Congeniality, Princess Diaries, and a few other ones, though, I feel like I've got to be convinced of saying yes, and I don't think I'm quite there. I'm like 50 to 60% of the way to yes, and I think I just got to be more. So I think I'm going to say no, though I think I would give the trilogy as a whole a yes. Yeah. I think this is an okie dokie trilogy by almost every definition.
I think it's an okie dokie trilogy, and I think that you could go either way with it. I just am choosing to judge this particular film for what it is. And I don't know, I feel... It feels unfair. It's like the same thing with The Rundown. Did I like The Rundown? Not really, but I don't feel like it's bad if you judge it against what it is, right? If you compare it to Schindler's List, then yeah, everything looks like shit, which is not what I'm saying that you're doing, but it's one of the things that I really try to take to this approach is like,
yeah, I agree.
I focus on trying to be a fair, judicial force here where I'm like, is it in the best interest of everybody else that I judge Jurassic Park against, the Searchers? Probably not, right?
Right. I do think it's, I agree a lot. It's really important to try and meet the movie, not where it's at specifically, but more where it's trying to be. And, you bring up The Rundown, which is an interesting thing because we both said yes to that, and I'm like, is The Rundown more okie dokie than this? But I do feel like it kind of is to me, because meeting The Rundown where it's at, like, yeah, it's goofy, it's not great, but for the type of film it's trying to be, I think it is good at that. And I think the fact that this is a Jurassic Park film, I do feel as though the standards are a little bit higher, at least for me. So I think that's might be what lands it in the no, is partially like, no, it's part of the franchise. Like, yeah, we only get to the third one because of the money machine and making it this franchise. So it's not like they're like, let's set out to make another Jurassic Park. And I think it would be unfair to it to judge it with that barometer. But I still think overall it's lacking a certain something that sets it to that level for me.
I would say I'd be interested in knowing what your closest to the line okie and noki dokie ones are. And maybe we can do that next time. Because I feel like The Rundown is my closest to the no that I've given a yes.
Why don't I make the show notes for next episode now? Not that I know what is going to be on next. More on that in a moment. But just so I can jot that down now. Oh, wait, you know what? That's going to be that maybe we should do that for 2 episodes from now.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Okay, so let me make another copy of the template show notes. I'm going to label the first copy as episode 49, and then I'm going to label the second one as 50.
Our episode 50 special around the corner.
It is our 50. That's perfect for reflecting back on our closest okie dokies to noki dokies and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So we've determined whether or not the film is okie dokie. CJ, I believe we gotta go on an adventure of our own right now.
Yeah.
Got wanderlust to the next room over. The rec room.
Yep. I got a new area rug.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, thank you.
Does it tie the room together? I'm not sure. I think I can kind of tell it was on sale. But
I mean, listen, green shag, perennial in style.
You know what? I'm not going to fight it. Maybe the sensibilities in Chicago are a little different than in your neck of the woods.
Wow. You really just called me whack.
CJ, what have you got to recommend for us this week?
All right, so unsurprisingly, I have a lot of books to recommend. I'm actually only going to recommend 2. I've been talking a lot about the Absolute universe for DC. And Tommy got me hooked up on that. And this is what I want to say. He did not undersell it. It's a really cool thing. The closest thing I would describe this to is I've heard people say, "Hey, this is like the spectacular universe for Marvel."
Ultimate,
yeah, sorry. Ultimate. And tonally, it didn't feel the same. I'm not saying that that's not a fair comparison. Now, there are some Ultimate things that I would agree with, but one of the things that stands out to me is like, this feels a lot like What If, but like a real What If played out over a long arc, and really, really great. I thought I was just going to get in for Batman. You told me Wonder Woman was the best, so I took a chance on Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman so far is the best for me. And it's crazy because of how much I love Batman. I'm not really a comic reader. And like I said it earlier in the show, I'm not someone that's ever going to read week to week.
Mm-hmm.
I like having contained stories. So I at least need arcs to dig my teeth into it. That having been said, I've enjoyed every single thing that I've read. Even what I've read so far of the Martian Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend if you're interested, not if you're interested in DC. If you like graphic novels, this is a really low cost. Find a hero, like read the back of the comic, read the back of the trade paperback, look up the back or what the premise is on Amazon or Google. Find one that resonates with you. You don't need to know anything going in, just go. Mm-hmm. If you know a little bit more, you get a little more out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to know a ton.
Yeah, just to build on that a little, this is a great jumping in point for comics in general. You know, it's its own thing, it's its own universe. If reading comics is something that has interested you and you want to give it a shot, this is a great place to start because you don't, like CJ said, you get something extra out of if you have like knowledge beforehand on these characters, though it's not required. And it really is like newbie friendly.
Yes. I'll say one thing that I think DC has going for it that Marvel struggles with is that everybody, and maybe this is not such the case now, with the Marvel Cinematic Universe putting a bright light on this, but I even feel like they take a lot of liberties. Everybody knows Batman's backstory, right? Parents died, rich kid, Batman. Everybody knows Superman's backstory. Alien, the Kents, the farm boy from Kansas, right? Everybody knows Wonder Woman. Amazon, Themyscira, has the lasso and the invisible plane.
No men.
No men. And so, like, if that's all you know, that's all you need to know. Whereas Marvel, the one
even
that
if you
people
somehow knew less than that, that's okay.
Yeah, literally the reason the X-Men exist is because Stan Lee wanted to give people a bunch of cool powers, but didn't want to give people backstories for why they had them.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man is the most popular Marvel hero. It's not even close. The MCU has obfuscated that a little bit, but it still really shows now in the post-first arc of the MCU verse, whatever. Post-Phase 3, right? Post-Endgame. Everyone knows Spider-Man's backstory, right? Which is why he's a great playground to play with it, because everyone knows what to expect, right? But yeah, so that's my first recommendation. Give the Absolute graphic novels a try. Like I said, they have Flash, they have Superman, they have Marvin. I keep calling him Marvin.
Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, they have Martian Manhunter, they have Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. Right?
Green Lantern as well.
Yeah, I did see Green Lantern. I don't know if I'm going to do that one, but we'll see how I get through the rest of these first.
I do believe that they also have just debuted were Absolute Green Arrow and Absolute Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Those are also limited series like Martian Manhunter will be.
Nice. I'm going to talk about my other recommendation. This is a book called Fairest. This is Fairest by Meredith Tolosan. And she is a Filipino-American, born in the Philippines, immigrates to the U.S. at the age of 14 or 15, and it documents 3 distinct periods of her life. Meredith is an albino, and so she was born as Mark Tolosan, and as a young child, Mark was a child actor. Funny enough, played the son of another albino individual, and lived in villages with thatched roofs and buildings that would get mold from the monsoons and water damage and all this stuff, and is a person living in the Philippines where everybody is, has dark brown skin and looks a certain way, and she is white with blonde hair, right? As a young child. Then they move to Chino, California at age 15, and goes from being a unique person in the Philippines to being just a white person in California. White passing. Then Meredith goes to Harvard, and about being a white passing person, no one knows that they're from the Philippines or Filipino. Just a white passing Southern Californian person, at this time living as a gay man in Harvard, navigating that space. And then the third act of her memoir is about her transition into the woman that she is now, when her whole life has been defined as something else. So, really interesting book. It is 308 pages. I read it in about a day. Just really interesting. I feel like not the most, how do I say this? A really easy read for a memoir. I feel like memoirs can suffer because they get too self-indulgent, or they just insist on themselves too much. They repeat their themes too much, or they really try and just pound something into you. And this doesn't. This feels like, hey, all these experiences are relevant, right? And they tie into the story of their life in a way that is compelling. And yeah, I found her life to be very compelling. So I highly recommend that book. That book is, again, Fairest by Meredith Talasan.
Very nice.
Yeah. What do you have for us today, Mr. Tomey?
I only got one thing. I was hoping to have a second thing to recommend, but I've not yet beaten that game, and I want to wait until I see it all the way through. Mm-hmm. So the only thing I have to recommend today is a little movie that maybe you heard of called The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I have, in fact, heard of that.
Yeah, I think most people, I don't know, some people have heard of it. I myself had never seen it up until about a week ago.
Okay.
I knew really little about it. I know I was aware of its general influence on many parts of queer culture, especially drag culture. I was aware of the fanaticism surrounding it as a cult classic and these all of these showings where people have all of these interactions with it. Mm-hmm. And that's about where my familiarity with it ended. I thought David Bowie was in it before I watched it.
Oh, no.
I genuinely knew very little about it. So this past, I think it was this weekend, Jade and I watched it, and, you know, she has seen it in person, like at a theater with all of the crowd interaction and everything. So she was doing like the some of those, and like she was like picking and choosing the ones that she thinks would heighten the experience. And I gotta say, I was blown away. I absolutely loved it. It was so its own thing and just otherworldly, which is funny now knowing what it's actually about. Makes a lot of sense, but it's just so novel, and I feel like, especially as you know, you and I engage with a lot of media. As I grow older, I just find myself valuing originality more and more. And having never seen anything really like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I just absolutely adored everything about it. The songs itself, which I'm not sure if I knew it was a full-on musical going into it even. So catchy. Been in my head all week.
Nice.
There was something else I wanted to say about it. Oh, and then also it's very much an homage, a love letter to like pulp film and old sci-fi from like the 50s. And I have a soft spot for old films like that. I want to see more of them, but the ones I have seen I've loved. Even if they're not the best by modern standards, I just love old creature films and things like that. Mm-hmm. So this being a love letter to those, and not just the whole film, but like specifically the opening song being listing so many references to films like that, it just was a great tone setter. So yeah, I just really loved it, and I can't wait to watch it someday at a showing with people all doing their things. So yeah,
nice.
just the Rocky Horror Picture Show for me. And then CJ, you recommended Fairest by Meredith Talusan and DC's Absolute Universe.
I did.
But
a little bit of an overreach on my part, but I'm recommending the whole universe.
Well, why don't we now head to the podium to find out what's our next episode going to be covering?
I am ready. Tommy, what are we watching next time?
Well, it's funny you ask me, because I actually don't know.
What?
Because our next episode, we have a guest.
We do?
We do.
Is it Jade?
Oh, you know what? They recorded a little something. Why don't I play it for us? And we can find out who it is and what we're watching.
Got it.
Hello, everyone. This is Dayman, senior music consultant here on The Film is Okie Dokie. Years ago, I was, briefly, the first ever guest on the podcast, but in the next episode, I will be joining CJ and Tommy in full capacity. We will be continuing our trilogy of July episodes for July masterpieces with Barry Sonnenfeld's 1997 classic, Men in Black. See you all there.
Hey, David,
wow.
Let's go!
Awesome. That's crazy that Princess Diaries, Jurassic Park 3, and Men in Black all released in July. And all 3 episodes are coming out in July. Thank you, Dayman, for noticing that and pointing that out. Continuing that trend, too, Toy Story 4 came out in June, and so did that episode.
Well, here's to living long.
Hey, I'll cheers to that.
Hey!
All right. Well, CJ, can you do your typical thing?
I sure can. Thank you, everybody, for listening to The Film is Okie Dokie. Remember to rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. If you only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe that you are a hater. Shout out to Money Jones at Wave Sports and Entertainment for the quip. If you like the show, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your neighbors' kids. They may need help working the buttons because they have little fingers. In fact, just download the podcast directly to your devices. Wherever you get your favorite podcast, we are available. Join the conversation in the description below is the link to the Discord. We have a great community. It's a lively bunch. We also have the link to the companion audio podcast in the description below. As always, I have been CJ.
I've been Tommy.
And this is The Film is Okie Dokie, Men in Black.
Exciting.
Here come the Men in Black.